able to do just the last few years. It was something that we were working towards, but it seemed pretty far out there. But after the year we had, and the work that the team's done to the bikes, and how I felt even at the last round before I got hurt, and when I got on the bike for the first time this year, I mean, I felt so good, and so the dreams are now goals, and I want to get that Grand Slam and get the title too.
For American flat track fans, the last Saturday in June can only mean one thing: the return of the Lima Half Mile. June 24th, the Allen County Fairgrounds comes alive with the fastest flat track motorcycle racers on the planet, celebrating America's original extreme sport. The 2023 running of the Mission Foods Indian Motorcycle Lima Half Mile, presented by Drag Specialties, is on. Get your tickets now at limahalfmile.com.
Kicker Performance Audio. For almost 50 years, we've been rocking the planet with our world-class product covering everything that drives you, whether in your car, truck, boat, motorcycle, side-by-side, or even on your head. Kicker Performance Audio's passion for bringing you your favorite music like you've never heard it before is what drives us. So wherever you need us, Kicker Performance Audio will be there for you.
American Flat Track Championship season.
Have you been involved in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers. They should be the first call you make after a motorcycle accident. The Law Tigers will make sure you get the compensation you deserve. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS now or visit lawtigers.com. You won't regret it. The Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck makes those hard-to-reach valve stems a thing of the past. The unique swivel design allows you to reach all valve stems, from baggers to sport bikes to UTVs. The Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck has you covered. Motion Pro has innovative products to help you maintain and repair your motorcycle, ATV, or UTV. Find the Pro-Fill Air Chuck and much more at motionpro.com.
Cometic Gasket is the official gasket of American Flat Track. For decades, American Flat Track champions have depended on Cometic to seal their engines. Cometic gaskets are the professional standard for racers who demand the very best. For more information, log on to Cometic.com. Cometic Gasket, sealing champions since 1989. Lincoln Welders is the official welder of American Flat Track Racing. When it comes to welding, cutting equipment, and safety apparel, Lincoln Electric is the choice. Go to LincolnElectric.com for all your welding, cutting, and safety apparel needs. And remember to hashtag WeldRed with all your projects. Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFT national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at klotzlube.com.
S&S Cycle was born from a passion for racing and has spent over 60 years building high performance for the power sports market. All the while, racing has remained at our core, from the Bonneville Salt Flats to championships in progressive American Flat Track. S&S is the go-to for high performance on and off the racetrack.
Sideburn is the world's finest Go Fast, Turn Left magazine. It's available to buy at Progressive AFT's Marketplace and is the official magazine of Progressive American Flat Track. For more information, visit sideburnmagazine.com. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com. Solarfit, America's solar team, is a proud sponsor of American Flat Track Racing. Get your complimentary solar analysis today at americanflattrack.com/solarfit and let the sun power your home or business for free. Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. A proud sponsor of AFT Super Twins, Mission Foods has mouth-watering snacks and easy-to-make recipes to fuel your race day. Now that's too fast, too tasty.
Sometimes you just don't need one of these. Sometimes all you really need is one of these. Rent whatever you need from people to do whatever it takes. Go to catrentalstore.com. Let's do the work.
Memorial Day weekend, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing roars onto the Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Celebrate Memorial Day weekend with Progressive American Flat Track. The Red Mile, presented by Indian Motorcycle of Lexington. Saturday, May 27th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Yeah, to be able to just show up and race a motorcycle has a lot of relief on me. Just the last few years I've had to worry about getting to the track with my equipment, making sure it's somewhat competitive. I haven't had the best stuff, but it's been mediocre, and so there's some races where I'll excel, but this year, going to the races, I'll be able to ride my bicycle and train during the week, and stress-free, get into the track and clear the mind and go out there and do my best on the best equipment. I really think with the team that I have, we could have a few top threes and hopefully a couple wins. I would like to leave the 2023 season top 5 in points. Ever since I've been in the Twins class, it's been 7th or 8th. Not better, not worse, just 7th and 8th. So yeah, I like to put myself in that top 5 bracket. Would be really cool.
For American Flat Track fans, the last Saturday in June can only mean one thing: the return of the Lima Half Mile. June 24th, the Allen County Fairgrounds comes alive with the fastest flat track motorcycle racers on the planet. Celebrating America's original extreme sport, the 2023 running of the Mission Foods Indian Motorcycle Lima Half Mile, presented by Drag Specialties, is on. Get your tickets now at limahalfmile.com.
The open road To those who understand what it offers, it's a call that has to be answered. What lies ahead? Who knows? It's in our nature to explore the possibilities and embrace the unknown. We round the corners of the journey, ready to take in the full beauty of what we see. We travel the same road, knowing the unexpected may occur. When you need us, we'll be there with the strength and experience that makes us who we are. The Law Tigers. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Don't take our word for it. Listen to the thousands of satisfied Zoe CBD users. Time and time again, we have seen the proof of our products. Try our products risk-free with a 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Actions speak louder than words. If you aren't completely satisfied with your order within 30 days from your purchase date, we will give you a full refund. Have you been involved in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers. They should be the first call you make after a motorcycle accident. The Law Tigers will make sure you get the compensation you deserve. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS now or visit lawtigers.com. You won't regret it. The Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck makes those hard-to-reach valve stems a thing of the past. The unique swivel design allows you to reach all valve stems. From baggers to sport bikes to UTVs, the Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck has you covered. Motion Pro has innovative products to help you maintain and repair your motorcycle, ATV, or UTV. Find the Pro-Fill Air Chuck and much more at motionpro.com.
Let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Denied.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian. Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
When you think of a ride, you think of quality. When it comes to hitting the ground and protecting your head, I wouldn't wear anything else.
The design of it is round and smooth, so when you're rolling through the dirt, your helmet doesn't catch the dirt and hurt your neck.
Safety in flat track and motorsports in general is probably the biggest concern. Obviously, we're all here to win. At the end of the day, we're all concerned about our well-being, and for that, you want to have the best gear on it, and for me, a ride's the best choice.
DCT is an automatic transmission. You heard right. The Honda DCT is a fully automatic transmission. For a motorcycle, it'll shift faster than you can, at the right time, right speed, and right RPM. And when you want to shift for yourself, use paddle shifters mounted on the left handlebar. Take a DCT demo on a new Honda Africa Twin and other available models. Schedule your DCT demo right now at Al Lamb's Dallas Honda.
Rent tools and equipment from more than 70 leading brands, plus the full line of CAT machines, big and small. The right equipment, the right technology, the right team. All right when and where you need it. Visit catrentalstore.com. Back on Track, a Rookies of 79 501c3 charity, was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Please consider supporting injured racers by purchasing a 50/50 ticket at today's event. Check us out on the web at backontrack79.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life.
Drag Specialties welcomes race fans. At Drag Specialties, our commitment to riding is a way of life. That's why we want to remind you that when you're ready to tackle maintenance or add performance and style to your ride, make your first stop a local dealer who stocks products from Drag Specialties. Drag Specialties. Enjoy the races.
From the flat track to the strip to the street, it's ARP fasteners for your bike. The speed demons of American flat track racing trust ARP. When failure is not an option, it's ARP-bolts.com.
Parts Unlimited, the people behind We Support the Sport, welcome you to this high-action event. We are proud to join with race fans everywhere in working to ensure that our sport gets bigger and more exciting each season. And you too can support the sport by visiting your local dealer who stocks products from Parts Unlimited. They've got the very best in high-performance parts and accessories and the best support network in the business. Parts Unlimited. We support the sport.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead. Brought to you by Yamaha. On the track, on the trail, or out on the open road. Check out Yamaha's full line of class-defining, adventure-seeking motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-side vehicles at YamahaMotorsports.com. Solarfit, America's solar team, is a proud sponsor of American Flat Track Racing. Get your complimentary solar analysis today at AmericanFlatTrack.com/solarfit and let the sun power your home or business for free. Sideburn is the world's finest Go Fast, Turn Left magazine. It's available to buy at Progressive AFT's Marketplace and is the official magazine of Progressive American Flat Track. For more information, visit sideburnmagazine.com. Cometic gasket is the official gasket of American Flat Track. For decades, American Flat Track champions have depended on Cometic to seal their engines. Cometic gaskets are the professional standard for racers who demand the very best. For more information, log on to Cometic.com. Cometic gasket, sealing champions since 1989.
The all-new Yamaha YZ450F. Narrower, more compact, and lighter. Built to do one thing: go faster.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian. Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Kicker Performance Audio. For almost 50 years, we've been rocking the planet with our world-class product covering everything that drives you, whether in your car, truck, boat, motorcycle, side-by-side, or even on your head. Kicker Performance Audio's passion for bringing you your favorite music like you've never heard it before is what drives us. So wherever you need us, Kicker Performance Audio will be there for you.
Introducing the all-new 2021 Rebel 1100 from Honda.
VP Racing Fuels. No matter what motorcycle you race or ride, amateur or pro, we have a fuel to make more power. Keep your bike running cool with VP Stay Frosty Coolant, available in 2 formulas. Race ready, designed to be glycol-free and track approved, and high performance with freeze protection for street applications. Visit vpracingfuels.com to learn more.
We come from all walks of life. We don't need a reason to ride, or even a destination. It's not what or where we ride that defines us, because no matter where we're headed, it's what happens along the way that makes us who we are. We may not know where the ride will take us, but one thing's for sure. With the Law Tigers, you never ride alone. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Knopf is a global leader in insulation products. More than 40 years of experience. Knopf is one of the fastest growing and most respected names in insulation worldwide. Knopf is committed to helping customers to meet the increasing demand for energy efficiency and sustainability in homes, non-residential buildings, and industrial applications. The Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck makes those hard-to-reach valve stems a thing of the past. The unique swivel design allows you to reach all valve stems. From baggers to sport bikes to UTVs, the Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck has you covered. Motion Pro has innovative products to help you maintain and repair your motorcycle, ATV, or UTV. Find the Pro-Fill Air Chuck and much more at motionpro.com. Don't take our word for it. Listen to the thousands of satisfied ZOE CBD users. Time and time again, we have seen the proof of our products. Try our products risk-free with a 100% satisfaction guarantee or your money back. Actions speak louder than words. If you aren't completely satisfied with your order within 30 days from your purchase date, we will give you a full refund.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Mission Food Sacramento Mile, powered by Law Tigers. First group of practice is already on the racetrack here at the legendary Sacramento Mile. It's the 57th running of this race, and here they come off of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway. I'm Scotty Dubler. Up here in the booth with me is Kristen Beat. Kristen, welcome back to California for the second weekend in a row.
And it is so exciting. Look at that. Look at what's happening out on track. We've got Jared Mees, Briar Bauman, and JD Beach in the front group right there. And guys, this weekend we're kind of working through a few bugs, so just stick with us. We don't have timing and scoring, but we'll try to keep you guys abreast of what's going on. Brandon Robinson with a 39.634. They just got out on track with 5 laps to go. Scotty, what can we expect from the Sacramento Mile?
We're going to see a whole lot. We'll have to wait and see, though. It is 20 degrees cooler than the last time we were here. We moved it from August to May, so it's going to be 20 degrees cooler.
But it does not feel that much cooler. It's still in the 90s.
It is warm out there right now. It'll cool off a little bit later on when that sun sets, but we're going to see some drafting. I think here comes the 3. We'll see if he can draft by the 1, and here he comes. He sets him up perfect, drafts him, goes up the inside, so that's what we are wanting to see. It's the first mile of the 23 season, and what I like what I'm seeing right now, Kristen, they're not on the bottom of the racetrack. They're running up there in the middle to high line. And when I came to Sacramento, the first practice session was my favorite.
Yeah, absolutely. And something that I talked with Chad Coase about earlier in the day, because we are coming here earlier in the season, the track isn't as dry. So as it may be, in the 90s today, the track seasonally as a whole, it has a lot more moisture in it than it did the last time we were here. And that means more grip, and that means even better racing. If you can believe it, because the Sacramento Mile already boasts some of the best racing.
And it's so good we're here early in the season. Used to, a long time ago, we came here in the spring and in the fall. This year, just a one-time visit here in May, early on in the season, and the track looks really good. Like you said, it is going to be about 98 degrees outside, but like you said, and Chad Coase pointed out, that it hasn't sat there and baked in the sun all summer long. So it is good. I think it's good. They've been watering the track.
What is also good, the Indian motorcycles, a bigger restrictor plate this weekend up to the 35 millimeter. And Brandon Robinson, Jared Mees all in the top 5 right now on the mile. And Briar Bauman right there on the KTM Duke as well.
Yeah, and Briar should do good. If we learned anything from Rispoli in the production twins class that the KTM 890 Super Duke is a strong engine, and it'll be good on the straightaways. And the thing is getting that thing hooked up in the corners, and it's working right now for Breyer. He's all the way up to second with the 4.0.076, and he just makes the pass on the one of Jared Meese. But yeah, the restrictor has changed by 1 millimeter. Meese says, I don't know if that's even enough to even feel it, but it's got to help the Indians.
They threw him a bone. They threw the Indians a bone. And right now, I mean, look at Breyer Bauman. He looks really confident on this bike. He's slinging it behind him. We haven't been able to see that because the first 6 races of the season, of course, short tracks is the theme of the year. We leave the Dallas half mile, and we got to see a glimpse of what kind of horsepower we can expect. But Breyer Bauman, man, looking really confident this weekend on that KTM Duke, which, again, you said we know this bike can win. James Rispoli did so well on it at the Red Mile last year.
Exactly, and he did so well in the production twins class. He got to move up in racing the Super Twins and got a podium in the Super Twins the first weekend out. So Dave Zanotti, Michelle DeSalvo, and the team have been working on that KTM. He looked really good early on last weekend at Ventura. When the track was looser, he could use that horsepower and steer it with the rear wheel. Today, right now, the track's a little bit similar. When it grooves up, or if it grooves up, he might have trouble hooking it up. But right now, it's good enough for third fastest. JD goes up to second and splits up the Indian Yamaha KTM in the top 3 spots.
That is the kind of parity we've been wanting to see out of the Super Twins class over the last 3 seasons. And Brandon Robinson, top of the boards, that injury must not be bothering him too much.
Yeah, and he's had a rough go so far this season. Three pretty big crashes early on for Brandon Robinson. 3 big crashes early on for the 44 Brandon Robinson, but he is quick time so far with a 3:9.634. Group number 2 set to roll onto the racetrack. They take a full lap before they come off the racetrack, and they're pitting in a completely different place than they were ever before. So they're pitting. Right. Normally they're in the infield. You can watch what's going on. Today they're outside turn number 4 is where a few of the guys are, and then behind the grandstands is where the rest of the teams are. So a whole different pitting scenario, but it's still the same old legendary Sacramento Mile. The 57th running of this track.
Can you believe that?
No.
I can't believe you're that old.
I know. I wasn't here at the first one. I might have been. I'm not going to tell anybody, but I might have been. But
you might have been here for the first running of it.
I don't think so.
But when you look back at history, the legendary Sacramento Mile, the guys who have raced here, what remains the same over the years? The bikes have changed, the riders have changed, the scenery around the track has changed. What has not changed is it always boasts some of the best racing. We see drafting, we see bar-to-bar racing, we see them going 3 and 4 wide, and I expect that again this year.
Yeah, definitely. And, a lot of people talk about Springfield Mile. Springfield Mile, Sacramento Mile, completely different. Seems like this one has a lot longer straightaways, tighter corners, which makes for some better racing in the corners, honestly. I mean, Springfield, they can really rail through the corners. Springfield's more of a drafting game. Here, it's more of a
paper clip. You have a really long straightaway, and you have these really tight corners, and so corner entry, corner exit, corner speed is going to be really important. It's definitely going to play a factor, but also that straightaway speed, that straightaway power, Scotty.
Yep.
You mentioned earlier in the day the start-finish line could actually play to the Essence and Racing Yamaha's advantage when we talk about that big matchup in the Super Twins class. How will Dallas Daniels and Jared Meese battle it out, and where that start-finish line is placed on the track, well, that could determine your winner.
And it'll also benefit the Yamahas. Not only the KTMs, like you said, with Breyer and Bronson on the KTMs, but also the Yamahas can use the more bigger engines, or however you want to say that, the more horsepower, that's what I was trying to say, but they can get down the track further. So it's going to be really tough for the Indians to hold them off. I think it's going to take a draft pass to possibly win. We'll see how it unfolds. But to win, Kristen, you got to really get through the corners. The Indians are the bikes that get through the corners better a little bit.
Jared Meese has been racing this track for 5-6 years on the same bike, and all that considered, he has notes, he has an established notebook, he knows the setup he needs to get that corner speed in what will be a detrimental part of the track. And as we look now, Ryan Wells on the 94 Royal Enfield, you and I both just recently completed a fun little project with the Royal Enfield team. That was fun, right?
Yep, it sure was. And they're stepping in with both feet now. They're up into the Super Twins class. They don't have just one rider with Johnny Lewis. They've got 2 riders. Ryan Wells, a former champion in our sport in the GNC2 class, so he's rode twins, he's rode singles, and has done very well. But what I told him is he brings a different bag of experience to the team. So what they were getting was just feedback from one rider. Now they're getting feedback from 2 riders. They can change setups. They can try each other's setups. Exactly.
Absolutely. And they found consistency. I think early in the program's infancy, it was DNF. start, DNF,
Right.
start, because they were still figuring the bikes out, right? So for most manufacturers to enter a competitive race series like this, they do a lot of background testing. They develop the bikes before they unveil them. This did not happen that way. They threw Johnny Lewis into the deep end and they said, get us a race bike out of this.
Yeah, here you go. Go do it.
Go do it. And they found consistency this year. They have not been out of the hunt.
The two riders we're watching right here on our screen, the 25 Ben Lau, the Holly Hot Rod, and the 36 of Colby Carlisle, currently sitting 6th and 8th right now. They're not close enough to use the draft with each other, but what they are close enough to is the 36 of Colby Carlisle can see where the 25 is running and maybe try something else and see if he's losing time or gaining time. So that's good to go out with somebody
Do you expect guys
fast.
to start drafting and qualifying in practice?
Yes, absolutely. You want to see if it's going to work now, early in the day, so you'll know if it's going to work later in the day. So
How does that work? Do you guys go up and say, hey, do you want to draft? Or like, what is that conversation like?
You can go out there and make some friends. And if you're comfortable riding with somebody, of course, you look and see who is in your practice and qualifying group. Who is somebody that I would compare myself to, and I'll go say, hey, Ben, let's go out here and run, real close to each other, or they may decide to spread themselves out. But I think, and I've always been told, 2 bikes go faster than 1. You come off the corner together, the second bike actually might back off just a little bit, and then right at the last second, use all the acceleration and make that slingshot pass, and that will pull the guy who was leading, pull him into the corner further.
But at least for qualifying's sake, you're getting to see how the bike drafts, but then you're also allowing yourself that faster time.
Yes, and it pulls you along, and it's when you make the draft pass, it feels like you're going 10 miles per hour faster than you were when you're sitting behind somebody. Checkered flag just came out from Big P, our flagman. I got to meet some of his families here in attendance, and his wife is here, so I got to talk to those folks earlier. And
he's a SoCal guy, and so he's got some extra family up here in NorCal. And what did you make of that Ventura race? Gosh, that was fun.
Man, that was a lot of fun. I think the grandstands were packed. It was a great event.
Sold out.
And I hope we go back next year. I think it was a great event, and we learn every time we go to a racetrack. The riders will learn how to go around it faster. The teams will make changes the next time we go back, and I think that the track prepping people will learn too that bikes. The track has to be set up completely different than a car.
The Super Twins didn't have the moisture in the track the singles did.
Yeah, and that was maybe, we had there's a curfew there. Some of the loose stuff had brushed off the racetrack just a little bit. So I think there was several factors in that. I think they could have thrown some more water out there, but you never know. I mean, in hindsight, you look at it and say, maybe we could have added some more water. Maybe we could have drugged the track different or
I
whatever.
liked it when it was a cushion. I liked it earlier in the day when we had that cushion. I would almost say more DG. Bring in the DG, let it be a cushion. It is such a fun track, and I think when we saw earlier in the day that nice little bumper on the top of the track, that berm developed, that was when we saw some of the, in my opinion, best racing.
Right, and I think since that is the case, maybe they'll have to get some drags like they use at Lima to drag the loose stuff back down towards the bottom.
We should start a petition. This is what we want from Ventura, guys. Do you hear us?
I just hope we go back next year.
I do too. Gosh, what a beautiful racetrack it was, and now singles out on track.
Yeah, and when you're feeling good, when you're leading the points, first or second the points, you come out, you put that thing on the back wheel. Do a wheelie down the front straightaway. I mean, it's your first time out.
He loves to flex, but you know what? Cody Kopp has yet to win on a mile. He is one of the most efficient riders in the singles class. He's leading the points. A win here would be his first career mile win.
That would be awesome. And, what I noticed about those bikes, too, when they were going through tech, he's got a big pad sitting right behind his butt on the motorcycle. That's where he wants to get his butt up against and then tuck down and get low. So it's more for keeping his body position on the motorcycle so he doesn't slide back too far. They feel like that's exactly where they want him. Also, Cody Kopp got to go to the Red Bull athlete training area.
Saw that.
And he's not an official Red Bull rider. He is sponsored by Red Bull. It's the Red Bull KTM. But he's not an official athlete. For him to get invited to go there is pretty awesome. And now I said something about that pad. It looks like he's actually sitting on top of that pad right now.
That almost seems counterintuitive because usually they want to get small. Maybe they'll change seats out. I'll follow up on that later. But it seems as though he's trying to get a little more rear wheel traction. He's moving so far back on the bike, trying to get that. It's actually creating more of a hump, which is not as aerodynamic as he probably wants to be. But he is pulling a hand down. He's tucking in. But yeah, that is interesting to follow. I'll kind of see what's going on with the seat selection there.
Yeah, see if that's what the plan was to do that.
Right. It seems as though with his body posture, the bump may be too far forward for him to get the rear traction he was looking for just now. So curious if he sticks with that, if he stays with that movement on the bike. But yeah, I can see exactly what he's doing right there. He's trying to move back, but it's almost creating a little more height towards the rear than or maybe it's creating a taller
taller hump to go up and over him, and maybe it'll
like a spoiler.
Yeah, maybe it'll put the wind down, or they're putting the wind up. I don't know, but yeah, we're noticing that the singles are running the very bottom of the racetrack right now, which is no surprise. It's the shorter way around. It's easier, and usually it's quicker on the 450s. When we saw the twins, we're up higher, opposite of what we saw in the main events last weekend at Ventura.
Right. And with these mile tracks, a lot of these riders, I just noticed Cody Kopp looking behind him. I think he wanted to see who's there, what he can try out, if he can get a little sideways.
And that's why I went to the high side. He's like, nobody's close to me. I'm not showing anybody any lines. I'm going to go up there and try that high line one time just to see if it's going to work.
Right. And his team back in the paddock making notes of what lap that is to see how quick it is. Now, the Yamaha's not too far behind Cody Kopp, so you'll notice they actually took the air box off the bike. I don't know if we can get a shot of those Yamahas behind Cody Kopp, but really interesting. I was talking to Nick earlier in the day. They, this year, drilled holes in the air box on the Yamahas to create a better ventilation system, obviously more air equals more horsepower. However, he told me, listen, we're just going to take them off. We're not even going to run the air box. We're going to run a bunch of different air filters. We're going to change them out. We're not even going to wash them. We just slap a new air filter on there. Interesting. I've never seen a team do that before. There's some pros and cons to doing that, but they're trying to look for every ounce they can get.
With the air box, it would be better aerodynamically, but with your legs covering that section of the motorcycle anyway, I don't think it matters that much. So, and it's not going to be muddy. There's not going to be a lot of loose dirt flying around, and the air filter, like you just said, take that off after every round, maybe put a new one on or a clean one on, and then go right back out.
Absolutely. It is interesting to see what these guys are doing here today, and we didn't get much time to talk about the Turner Racing Hondas. We've been pretty focused in on Cody Kopp, but those are the bikes that I expected to be in the mix today. The Turner Racing Hondas, Trevor Bruner, right up there, Chase Sadoff on the Turner Racing Honda, Trent Lowe, and then Cody Kopp.
Sadoff out there on the 88,
He's
Trent
hungry.
Lowe, his teammate right there on the 48, 1 and 2. Cody Kopp sitting in third, but he's out there by himself. The advantage that Sadoff and Trent Lowe have is they're drafting with each other right now. It looks like the one bike is just out there having some fun right now. In the first session, he's just going for it and look, he's completely sideways right there. His left foot's just all over the place, and
I'm live on Instagram right now. Everyone's go Merg. Go Merg.
That's Dave Kilkenny. Super Dave. Checkered flag is out from Big P, our flagman for the one bike of Cody Kopp. This is the first round of practice for you folks just tuning in on fanschoice.tv or that are here.
Chase Sadoff.
Went even faster on that last lap.
That is going to be the matchup, I think, today is Chase, because he is so hungry. I mean, he had to watch Trent Lowe earn his first win. He went to Ventura, was right there battling back and forth for the win, just narrowly missed what could have been his first win, and then now going into this weekend, you know that the monkey's on his back right now.
He wants it really bad, and last weekend he fogged up his shield a couple times. He went in the corner a little bit too hot sometimes, but he was trying everything he had. He was trying as hard as he can, and I give him credit for it. I mean, why not go for it?
So a good friend of mine, Daniel Blair, he works with the AMA Supercross Series. In the media day, you and I had a really interesting conversation with him regarding younger riders, how they, in their first season, oftentimes override. And I think that's what we saw from Chase Sadoff. Even though it's not his first season, he's still a very young rider in comparison to the rest of the field, which is so stacked. And sometimes that overriding can hurt you.
Yeah. And I just noticed, too, that Dalton Gauthier did not complete the entire session. He was already going back to the pit area before the leaders came back around, so he did not complete that session. And currently he's in the 9th spot, and he had the worst finish of the season so far last week in Ventura with a 10th. And I expected him to do better at that short track.
He started out as the only rider in the first 4 rounds to be on the podium in every start. And then rounds 5 and 6, he's been off a bit.
Keep your eyes on that 52 at the back of the pack as we go back out in front. Justin Jones had an excellent night last night, the Lodi Cycle Bowl. It was the night before the mile. He went out there, was fast qualifier, won his heat race, led almost every lap of the main event with about 5 or 6 laps to go. He made one little bobble, and you go backwards at that Lodi Cycle Bowl, and he allowed Terrence Santero and Chad Coase to get right by him, and he still ended up 3rd. But look who's behind the 91 right now. It's the California kid, 49, Chad Coase on the first impressions. Husqvarna, they're tucked in here. They come on the front straightaway.
And that is right down the road, Lodi Cycle Bowl for all the NorCal natives. That's kind of a tradition for the guys to race Lodi before they come into Sacramento. That doesn't happen in many other two-row racing series. You won't hear about a guy racing at a local race or an all-star race the night before a national race. But That happens here.
It does, and there's usually a big crowd. I've done that race about the last 8 years in a row, and when we skipped it the COVID year, we didn't race out here on the West Coast, but during COVID. But I've been out there, I think, the last 8 times they've raced out there, and I love going out there. It's one of the racetracks that I really wish that I would have raced when I was still racing.
Back in 1922.
Yeah, back when they first made motorcycles. I'm not that old, B. Come on now. Coast has gotten by Justin Jones and is pulling away from everybody on that 49 KTMs. We'll see if he jumps up on the leaderboard. He goes to the top spot, 40.441 for the California kid. Chad Coast is feeling it.
They actually are debuting a new motor this weekend, and this motor is beefy. Let me tell you, Chad Coast seems very excited about it. And listen, the KTMs have been quick this year. Husky falls into that family. Excited to see what he brings to the table.
That was a classic draft pass. We just saw on the screen right there. The 82, Travis Pettin, set up the 91, came off the corner, stayed behind him, and that's hard to do. And then right about halfway down the straightaway, pulled out and made that draft pass. Usually you'll wait a little bit longer and make that pass before you get to the corner, but maybe he's trying to see if he could do it early enough to maybe make that pass going to that finish line. So he's trying to set him up.
This is a good time to practice those passes. Now, looking down the board from the previous qualifying session, Trevor Bruner, I'm curious to see if he can get back in the mix, because he's won this race 3 years in a row.
3 races in a row.
And
2 different manufacturers.
Right.
He rode it. He won first on Honda. Look at Chad Coast, just takes that tear off and leaves his hand out there for a while. But yeah, to do it on a Honda and then back it up on a Yamaha. So Bruner's got to feel really good come back out here to the Cal Expo.
Yeah, he's got some confidence here. It's an important race for him. I mean, this has been a slow season to start, but that was the story for 2022 as well. But to return to a track, we have so much confidence. He can start really building some momentum. Look at this. The guy is going down the front stretches. Nothing quite like that at Sacramento.
No, it's so much fun. And like I said, it's different than Springfield. You're really, it's a long straightaway, so it feels like you're on that straightaway for a very long time. You're looking over the handlebar. Is the corner coming up yet? Is the corner coming up yet? Nope, nope. Oh, here it is. Then you let off. But you tuck in and get as small as you can.
What's interesting, though, is the riders will tell you the short tracks are more physically demanding than these. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. You're on the motorcycle. You're hanging onto it as hard as you can. You're steering with the rear wheel, sometimes pushing the front end as Bruce Evans just slips off the groove and lets the jet Jared Lowe just goes on by. That's one little mistake right there that will be a costly mistake later on when it's race time. This is just practice, but yeah, a short track, you're on it the entire time. Here, you get a little bit of time down these straightaways to regroup, rest, reach up, grab a tear off, think about what's going on. And I've told some of the riders before that have never ridden a mile. I've talked to them at some riders meetings before, like at the Amateur Nationals, the Flat Track Grand Championships, they call them now. But I talk to them and say, listen, everything slows down. You're going faster than you've ever gone before, but it kind of slows down out there. So take it all in. Think about what's coming up next. Think about what your next move is going to be. Think about the next corner, but also think about the finish. You got to think so far ahead, and it's strategy.
Scotty Taylor, NC, asking, how pivotal is it to draft with other riders and practice making sure to dial in timing for draft passes, how the bike behaves in packs, or better to be alone and not dice it up? Me and Scotty were just talking about that. Scotty, you seem to think it is good to at least draft pass a few times in qualifying.
I would do it as much as possible if there's somebody out there that I think that can run with me and that can draft me right back, that we can use that together. Look like Chad Coast, after he got out front, he just kind of pulled away from the rest of the guys. We have not seen a lot of the draft passing just yet. We've seen a few of them, more so far in the Super Twins, but they're all over on different parts of the racetrack too. These singles riders were all kind of in line on the bottom of the racetrack. So I think it's important, Scotty and Kristen, to follow up on that too. Like you said, do you talk to somebody beforehand? Absolutely. If you have a good guy, a friend out there, an ally, a teammate, maybe somebody on the same manufacturer, you might want to go out there and try to say, hey, let's go out here, let's try a few things together. When Brian Smith went out there, though, when he was still racing, he'd go at the back of the pack, and he wouldn't want to mess with nobody. He wanted to go out there and do his own thing.
And he was the mile master. Now,
exactly.
My favorite Brian Smith story comes from right here at the Sacramento Mile back in 2021.
I thought he was going to say way back in 1920, but
I could probably say that too. Brian, if we're out there, we're sorry. So back in 2021 in the Super Twins class, Jared Mees and Briar Bauman slicing and dicing real close to each other in the championship hunt. 4 races prior to Sacramento, Jared Mees was 25 points behind Briar Bauman. Leaving Sacramento in 2021, he had regained the points lead by 1 point. And a big reason for that, rebound was the double header that we had at Sacramento. And entering the second day, Brian Smith's bike had broke, and all of a sudden, Jared Mees is very, very charitable and offered Brian Smith a bike.
You used my backup bike.
You used my backup bike.
And it made a buffer.
It created a points buffer because he did end up second. He was right on the podium. He created some distance between Jared and Breyer, so that was one of my favorite Brian Smith stories, watching him in his last start before he retired and his career on the podium and on a borrowed bike, nonetheless.
We just saw the 155 Olin Kistler win in the corner, actually downshifted. I haven't seen much of the guys out front. Maybe I was too busy discussing drafting and stuff like that. But some of these riders are actually, downshifting going in the corners, which will help them come off the corners harder. But then you have to take a second or millisecond and upshift. So we'll see if these guys are doing it now. Here's the 140. That's Blake Ash. This is his rookie season. He's a California West Coast rider. There's a 55 Tyler Raggio. He's also originally from the West Coast. He lives in Georgia now, but Raggio is out there on that double nickel, the 55. 233 also out there is Christian Spurgeon.
The double nickel?
55.
I've never heard of that before.
Oh, come on.
You would. That would be a Scotty thing.
I'm pulling it out. Come on, double nickel. There used to be a triple nickel. Actually, Sandriana Shipman used to race with us for a while. Before she went pro, she was 555. She was the triple nickel. You never heard that, huh?
I have not heard of that. I have not heard of that.
There's the 216 Declan Bender. There's Spurgeon right behind him on the 233, and Declan's had all kinds of vehicle problems every round. It seems like something. They had to buy a brand new van in the middle of Colorado on the way out to this West Coast trip.
And that's so hard, Scotty. Just life as a privateer. But at some point in everybody's career, they were there. And that's the interesting part about racing. Yep. Everyone can kind of sympathize with that part of the journey.
Yeah, they actually called me and was trying to figure out if there's anybody coming out from the the Midwest that could stop by and grab their stuff, and we reached out to a few folks.
Can we catch a ride?
Yeah, they had their thumbs out and tried to load it up. There's the 216 Declan Bender. He's missed the main event by a couple of spots a couple of different times. He was 9th fast in one of the practice sessions last week or one of the qualifying sessions and just couldn't put it all together. So he's getting some seat time and he'll get there. Keep trying. There goes Christian Spurgeon, the 233. Another local rider from Lodi, California. As the 216 reaches up, grabs a tear off, and then, there won't be a lot of that going on, I don't think, right now with the wet track, the looser track. They'll have, they'll pull tear-offs off a lot right now, but as the track will brush off, you won't need as many tear-offs like they needed last week at Ventura.
No, absolutely not. I mean, last week at Ventura, when you looked at the track, it was just all tear-offs. All tear-offs throughout and it was in the corners, because I think on entry, a lot of guys were pulling. On exit, a lot of guys were pulling.
And when you go past the wind.
Is Shayna out there racing? I don't see her.
Shayna went out earlier on. She was in, looked like the first group. We saw her on the screen, but I don't see her on the leaderboard. Let me see if I can scroll down a little bit.
Let's see.
She doesn't have any time, so apparently she either didn't have a transponder or her transponder was not working. That's a good point right there. Yeah. The 52, Shayna texter-bauman, is currently scored in 27th of the 27 bikes that have been out. So again, no times are recorded for the 52. A great question. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, that was great. Look at what Instagram can provide, not just
Insta news.
Insta news.
Insta questions.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that, though.
There's a draft pass there. We're taking a look through the pack as the white flag is out. Here comes the 121 Jacob Cassio and Freight Train 66. That's Logan McGrain.
Scotty, you know what I've really missed?
What?
You don't get that sound anywhere else.
I know it. It's awesome on the mile. Look at McGrain right there trying to use the draft to get by the 121. McGrain out there on the number 66. That was his football number.
He played football?
He still does play football.
Good
see how big he is? He's losing weight, but he's a big boy. I wouldn't want to get hit by him.
I would not want to be on the other side of the line. Football line. No.
Exactly. So he's getting it dialed in on the bottom of the racetrack. Logan McGrain, we're talking about, is the current World Championship ice racing champion.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
And, those ice racers, I think this stuff's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I don't do the outside stuff because I'm a sissy and it's cold, but I do the indoor World Championship ice racing, and, man, it is a good show. It's a lot of fun. That's it.
Sissy.
That's it for our first round of practice already.
That's it.
There are so many vendors. Did you go down there and buy anything yet?
I am patiently waiting for a corn dog. Or maybe an icy. I don't know.
I was talking about like a shirt or a hoodie.
No, I go straight to food.
You go to food. I go straight to the T-shirt booth. I think I got a problem.
You got to get your collector shirt in.
Exactly.
I mean, talk about that, though. Chad Coast, right up to the top of the board. Did you expect that? Be honest.
He's feeling confident. Right off the bat, no, I didn't expect that this quickly. And he was out there by himself. He was in the lead after he passed a couple of people. He got the lead and kind of pulled away from everybody. So Chad Coast with a 0.441. Sadoff second, Bruner third, Cole Zabala fourth. Fifth right now is Trent Lowe. We're going to take a quick break. We come back. Qualifying up next here at Sacramento.
For American flat track fans, the last Saturday in June can only mean one thing: the return of the Lima Half Mile. June 24th, the Allen County Fairgrounds comes alive with the fastest flat track motorcycle racers on the planet. Celebrating America's original extreme sport, the 2023 running of the Mission Foods Indian Motorcycle Lima Half Mile, presented by Drag Specialties, is on. Get your tickets now at limahalfmile.com.
Riders, let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian. Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
The Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck makes those hard-to-reach valve stems a thing of the past. The unique swivel design allows you to reach all valve stems. From baggers to sport bikes to UTVs, the Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck has you covered. Motion Pro has innovative products to help you maintain and repair your motorcycle, ATV, or UTV. Find the Pro-Fill Air Chuck and much more at motionpro.com.
VP Racing Fuels. No matter what motorcycle you race or ride, amateur or pro, we have a fuel to make more power. Keep your bike running cool with VP Stay Frosty Coolin', available in 2 formulas: race ready, designed to be glycol free and track approved, and high performance with freeze protection for street applications. Visit vpracingfuels.com to learn more.
Progressive American Flat Track Championship season.
Two short years ago, Honda released the Rebel 1100, and for 2023, they're introducing the all-new Rebel 1100T, equipped with a large, color-matched handlebar-mounted fairing and 35 liters of lockable storage. It's built for the open road. The standard and bagger models both start with a powerful twin-cylinder engine, so they sound as aggressive as they look. Head to a dealer to see the 2023 Honda Rebel 1100 and 1100T.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead. Brought to you by Yamaha. On the track, on the trail, or out on the open road, check out Yamaha's full line of class-defining, adventure-seeking motorcycles, ATVs, and side-by-side vehicles at YamahaMotorsports.com. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout, a cool $2,500. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com. Progressive is proud to be America's #1 motorcycle insurer, protecting 1 out of every 3 insured riders. And they also offer coverage for your boat, RV, and other adventure vehicles. Quote motorcycle insurance online in as little as 3 minutes or bundle your insurance together today.
When you think of a ride, you think of quality.
When it comes to hitting the ground and protecting your head, I wouldn't wear anything else. The design of it is round and smooth, so when you're rolling through the dirt, your helmet doesn't catch the dirt and hurt your neck.
Safety in flat track and motorsports in general is probably the biggest concern. Obviously, we're all here to win. At the end of the day, we're all concerned about our well-being, and for that, you want to have the best gear on, and for me, a ride's the best choice.
Have you been involved in a motorcycle accident? Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers. They should be the first call you make after a motorcycle accident. The Law Tigers will make sure you get the compensation you deserve. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS now or visit lawtigers.com. You won't regret it.
Rev up to get fueled by Mission as the world's most extreme dirt track riders and tastiest products come together to fuel your flavor. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
We come from all walks of life. We don't need a reason to ride or even a destination. It's not what or where we ride that defines us, because no matter where we're headed, it's what happens along the way that makes us who we are. We may not know where the ride will take us, but one thing's for sure. With the Law Tigers, you never ride alone. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers.
The Let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Rev up those taste buds with Mission Foods. A proud sponsor of AFT Super Twins, Mission Foods has mouth-watering snacks and easy-to-make recipes to fuel your race day. Now that's too fast, too tasty. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high-performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com. Kicker Performance Audio is your fuel for living loud and a proud sponsor of American Flat Track, the original extreme sport. Now in our 50th year, Kicker has been the world leader in audio gear for cars, trucks, motorcycles, and America's roads. Kicker Audio is living loud. Lincoln Welders is the official welder of American Flat Track Racing. When it comes to welding, cutting equipment, and safety apparel, Lincoln Electric is the choice. Go to LincolnElectric.com for all your welding, cutting, and safety apparel needs. And remember to hashtag WeldRed with all your projects.
Memphis Shades brings you a whole new level of style when it comes to motorcycle windshields and fairings. The quality, style, and selection set these products apart from the pack. Memphis Shades designs and builds all windshields, fairings, and hardware in-house. Raw materials in, finished goods out. Made in Memphis. Style that works.
Sideburn is the world's finest Go Fast, Turn Left magazine. It's available to buy at Progressive AFT's Marketplace and is the official magazine of Progressive American Flat Track. For more information, visit sideburnmagazine.com. Solarfit, America's solar team, is a proud sponsor of American Flat Track Racing. Get your complimentary solar analysis today at americanflattrack.com/solarfit and let the sun power your home or business for free. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout? A cool $2,500. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda. Riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com.
Introducing the all-new 2021 Rebel 1100 from Honda.
Grown with water from the Colorado Rockies. Pesticide-free, meticulously tested soil, carefully harvested by hand in order to develop our enriched CBD formula, producing highly concentrated CBD products so you can perform at your best every single time. Learn more at ZoCBD.com. Progressive American Flat Track Championship season.
SBS is the official brake sponsor of Progressive American Flat Track, your single source of brake components for motorcycles, ATVs, and UTVs in racing, off-road, and for street use. Try the improved brake performance of the all-new SBS Better Brake Series. Find the brake pads, rotors, and clutch kits that match your bike on sbsbrakes.com. There's a reason why SBS is the preferred choice of street kings and race champions alike. Go ahead. Super 73 is an American lifestyle adventure brand based in Orange County, California, that develops products to help fuse motorcycle heritage with youth culture. Founded in 2016, Super 73 has quickly grown into one of the most recognizable electric vehicle brands in the world with a passionate customer base, including A-list celebrities, professional athletes, and many more.
KTM, ready to race.
Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com.
Everything we do at the track shapes what we build for the street and the dirt.
You can see how bad these guys want it. A race to the line.
For us, racing is not for the trophies or the glory. We compete because it makes everything we do faster, more durable, and tested to a higher standard. For S&S, racing is the ultimate in proven performance, and we've been proving it since 1958.
Memorial Day weekend, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing roars onto the Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Celebrate Memorial Day weekend with Progressive American Flat Track, the Red Mile, presented by Indian Motorcycle of Lexington, Saturday, May 27th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com. Memorial Day weekend, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing roars onto the Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Celebrate Memorial Day weekend with Progressive American Flat Track, the Red Mile, presented by Indian Motorcycle of Lexington, Saturday, May 27th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
The loyal riders, let your queries be known.
Yeah, hi. Instead of letting passengers wrap their arms around us, can we put little handles on our jackets?
Deny.
Can you imagine?
I want a new nickname. Can you guys start calling me Snake?
No, Brian.
Denied.
How about we all get quotes to see if we can save with America's #1 motorcycle insurer?
Approved.
Cool. Hey, if Brian's not going to be Snake, can I be Snake?
No.
Rev up to get fueled by mission as the world's most extreme dirt track riders and tastiest products come together to fuel your flavor. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com.
Tire pressure is critical whether you're racing at the track or just enjoying a weekend ride. The Motion Pro digital tire pressure gauge is used and trusted by professional mechanics and riders and gives you the best performance for your tires. Motion Pro products help you maintain and repair your motorcycle, ATV, or UTV. Find your Motion Pro digital tire pressure gauge and much more at motionpro.com. With the Law Tigers, you don't have to handle your motorcycle accident alone. They have over 20 years' experience and know what injured riders and their families are going through after a tragic accident. Law Tigers will help you get your motorcycle and gear either fixed or replaced. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS now for your free case evaluation or visit lawtigers.com. The Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Grown with water from the Colorado Rockies. Pesticide-free, meticulously tested soil, carefully harvested by hand in order to develop our enriched CBD formula, producing highly concentrated CBD products so you can perform at your best every single time. Learn more at zoecbd.com.
And welcome back to the Mission Foods Sacramento Mile, powered by Law Tigers, motorcycle lawyers. We are here at the capital of California, at the drone shot right now, up above the pond in the very center of this unique racetrack, the legendary Sacramento Mile. Today is the 57th running of this race. A few fans that are here, we will have an open paddock area. They just told me to mention that over here to let you guys know. The pits have been moved to outside turn number 4 and behind the grandstands. The open pit walk, the open fan walk is from 5:45 until 6:35. But if you want to go in early, you can upgrade your ticket. A $40 pit pass is available right here at the entrance to the pit. So if you want to come in early, walk around to the pits, an extra $40, and you can do that. If not, you have to wait until 5:45 until 6:35 for the open paddock area. And then, of course, after the races today, you can go back there. That'll be off to the right if you're looking at the Jumbotron, the big screen in the center of the racetrack. You can see the Mission tent. Just a few bikes are pitted past there. The rest of them are back there behind the grandstands. They told me that the reason we are back there is there's so much moisture, so much rain up here in Northern California that the infield was a little bit too soft to bring the big rigs and park them in the center of the racetrack. So we did park outside the racetrack for the first time that I can ever remember since we've been coming out here to this awesome racetrack in Northern California. Today, the 57th running of the Sacramento Mile. 2 classes racing today. There is another round of practice, so I was wrong a few moments ago. We went to break. I thought we were coming back with qualifying, but instead we'll have another full round of practice for both classes. There are several vendors down there on Vendor Row right in front of the grandstands. Be sure to stop by and see the folks with Back on Track. Buy your raffle tickets. They've got a brand new 2023 Yamaha YZ450. You get the raffle tickets right here today. I believe $25 a piece, 4 for $100, and we'll be raffling that off a little bit later on in the season, not too far away. So get your raffle tickets now. You have a better shot of winning. Get your tickets early while they're still available. Also, the T-shirt vendor is down underneath the grandstands, and they're located out in front. And if you want some more mile racing action, you can come back out here tomorrow morning. The gates are early tomorrow. They'll be on the racetrack at about 9 tomorrow. It's all amateurs and vintage riders out here on this beautiful racetrack. And that is free. The grandstands are free tomorrow right here at the Sacramento Mile, Cal Expo Fairgrounds. As we take a look at the holding pen where they enter the racetrack, look at Jared Meese taking a look over at the 32. Dallas Daniels, our current points leader, he will lead them out. He has got first or second every race this season. We are 6 races in, 1/3 of the way through the 2023 campaign. And that man is our points leader right now by 24 points over Jared Meese. Meese is waving at somebody. That's actually the Nomad right there talking things over Jared. Now Jared's going to get back in line behind the 2 Yamahas. Looks like the 95 of JD Beach snuck on through to go up there with his teammate. So this time they're going to come out and they'll get a practice start on the starting line right here. So it's a good chance to see him and listen to him drop the clutch and go to work. It's practice round number 2. Mission Super Twin, sponsored by S&S Cycle. The 32 is Dallas Daniels. The 1 is Jared Meese. 95, JD Beach. The 3 is Briar Bauman, switching over to KTMs this year. 67, Davis Fisher, 5th in the points. Brandon Robinson is on the 44. 20, Jared Vandekoy. 37, Bronson Bauman, also on a KTM. And the 10 of Johnny Lewis on the Royal Enfield. They did sweep off some of the loose stuff up to the racetrack, so trying to smooth it out there on the racetrack. Look at the drone shot right here from the Progressive Skycam. There's the barns out there on the back straightaway. This is a horse racing track facility before it became a flat track facility, I guess. We can argue that back and forth. 2 ponds in the center. Actually, might call those lakes. That one is really big with all the rain they've had out here in Northern California. Here they come onto the front straightaway. Green flag is a waving. You see just how fast they're going right there. Meese slips a little wide right here in the first corner. Up the inside goes the 95 of JD Beach, bringing with him the 3 of Briar Bauman. So Yamaha, KTM, Indian off of turn number 2 onto the back straight. '95 out front. 95, JD Beach going to lead the freight train off of turn number 4 onto the front straightaway, breaking up just a little bit. Here comes Meese on the 1, the 3. They're going 3 wide on the front straightaway. Man, if that was a race, I believe Meese would have stuck it in there a little bit further, but Briar Bauman goes to the top spot. The 3 bike out in front. The 1 of Meese is right there. 95 JD Beach, and here comes the 32. Dallas Daniels caught all 4 of these riders, and he did that with the fastest lap of the day so far. 3:08.864 from Dallas Daniels. And remember, this is only practice. Dallas used that big draft, the big pocket of air last time across the start-finish line and tracked him down. There's a little bump coming off of 4. Meese went under it right there, and the rest of them went right through it. But Dallas used that little group of 4 riders in front of him, or 3 riders in front of him, to open up a big pocket of air, and Dallas used that to his advantage. And as I said, that Jared Meese goes to the top spot, 3.8.816. So they swept off the loose stuff, a little bit of it with the street sweeper, and looks like they're getting more traction right now. The 1 drops to the very bottom of the racetrack. Jared Meese looking for his 9th championship American flat track. This time Breyer stays underneath that bump coming off of 4. Trying to get in line, try to see if he can draft up there and catch the 1. Here they come across the start-finish line into turn number 1. Breyer jumps up to 2nd that lap. So Breyer having somebody to chase definitely helps him out here. See if he can catch a hold of the draft. That last time by, Breyer goes up to a 3.8.816. 3.8.8 for Breyer Bauman up to 2nd. The Yamaha is right behind there, 3rd and 4th. The 32 Dallas is in 3rd, and JD sitting in 4th. Bronson on the other KTM is up there in that 5th position. This is practice group number 1, round number 2 of practice here today. Here they come off of 4. White flags coming out. Looks like Big P's got an assistant today. There's the 1 of Meese. Kristen's been out finding out what's going on in the pits. Kristen, welcome back to the air conditioning.
Oh, thank you. It is a welcomed relief. I did actually get to talk to Jared, and I asked him, do you feel the difference between the 35 and the 40, the 34 restrictor? He said, no. He said, we'll see when we get back out there. But
look how fast he's going.
It shows. The difference shows. He may not feel it, but it definitely shows.
And the track is taking rubber. They swept off the track during our little short break. They swept off some of the loose stuff. And right there, Meese is going underneath this little bump or little, the track's kind of blowing out a little bit coming off of 4. Meese is going underneath it somehow.
He found a good line there. Jared and Breyer. I mean, this gives me 2021 vibes. I don't know about you.
Yeah, it's setting it up to be a good race. They picked up a full second faster than they were in the first round. So in the first round, it was Robinson with a 3.9.634, Meese a 3.8.644. So almost exactly a full second. Robinson, who was fastest in the first round, he jumps up to 4th on that last lap with a 3.8.892. So the track will go through some changes. Not as many changes as it did like last week at Ventura on the short track, but it will go through a lot of changes. It's going to take down some more rubber, which hopefully will make it faster. And again, the open paddock area, I know I mentioned a few moments ago, they asked me to make sure and remind all you fans, since the pit area is not in the infield, we still will have the open paddock area. That is from 5:45 until 6:35. And if you want to go in the pits all day, you can get the extra pit pass for an extra $40 if you're here with us at the Cal Expo Sacramento Mile.
So, Scotty, is this time drop due to the track getting faster or the riders becoming more comfortable?
No, I think it's because they swept off the loose stuff. So now you're getting the traction is actually planting to the ground. There's a lot of rubber going down. And maybe they made a few changes, but I would blame it or give credit to the track. Actually, you know, the loose stuff dusted off a little bit. You can see a lot more rubbers going down quickly.
They're getting better traction.
And we got the Dirt Wizard is back. Dennis Pearson, they call him the Dirt Whisperer. He's back, and he's now the track guy.
Any relation to Bugs Pearson?
No, just...
I know Flat Track's a small family.
Yeah, exactly.
So every once in a while, you have to ask.
Everybody's related. Sometimes like a soap opera, but sometimes it's just like a big family.
Yeah, one of the two.
Group number 2, Mission Super Twin, sponsored by SNS Cycle 25, Ben Lau. 36, Kobe Carlisle. 94, Ryan Wells. 61, the Cisco Kid, Casey Cisco. The Missile, Michael Hills on the 47. Scooter Vernon on the 274. Jimmy McAllister from Petaluma's on the 50. And Nick Armstrong from Norco, California is on the 60. And that's the bikes that are on the racetrack. Here they come.
Ryan Wells right behind the 25 of Ben Lowe, right there on the Royal Enfield bike.
Ben got his career best finish at the Arizona Super TT, a career best of 4th, and he's looking to improve that. He wants a podium here in the Super Twins class.
And so does Kobe Carlisle. It has been a while since we've seen Kobe Carlisle in competitive, in a position to where he could eventually earn a podium, and here at Sacramento, I mean, it really could be anyone's race.
And you're talking about Colby, and he just slips off the groove and turns 1 and 2, and he was in the Production Twins class, and the Production Twins class went away. He said he actually had a few offers to ride different motorcycles and felt with the G&G guys when Corey Texter retired, the G&G guys, no pressure. They go out there to have fun, so that was the ride that he elected to take. And you know, he's a good rider. He has had a couple of injuries and a couple of nasty injuries the last couple of seasons, and he's got everything put back together, and he's just getting more and more comfortable on that G&G Yamaha.
Absolutely, and I think G&G being a small team, being able to have a lot of direct communication with Colby, they're not tied in like some of the factory teams to having to use a certain part. They can kind of pick and choose what they want to do. This team is going to continue to kind of learn each other and progress throughout the season.
It's hard, when you lose your rider, it's hard to start over with somebody else, somebody that's a little bit different in size, a little bit taller than Corey, probably weighs a little bit more, so they have to work on setup, and that'll be It continued to get better throughout the season. As we're watching Ryan Wells on the 94, that's the other Royal Enfield, and his time is it's really close to his teammate. Johnny Lewis is currently 8th. He was in that first group. Ryan Wells just now moves up to 9th with a 3:9.904. Again, this is a second round of practice. Both classes will get 2 rounds today, and they're chasing the 25 of Ben Lau. The 36, Carlisle moves up to second, 3:8.760. That is what the draft can do. See those two riders in front of him? They opened up a big pocket of air, and it pulled the 36 right up there, and he closed in on him in a hurry.
And that's going to be an advantage for a rider like Colby Carlisle, who knows how to use the draft, who is, in this class, maybe not a veteran, but definitely a veteran of the sport.
Yeah, definitely. He's been around the mile racetracks quite a bit, and he's just getting better, better with age. I mean, he's a very good rider, and he's catching them on that Yamaha. So we got a Indian, Royal Enfield, and Yamaha. And this is what we want to see. We want parity in the sport. The 94 goes up the inside. The 36 further up the inside. Carlisle goes right past him right there, and then he slips off the groove. That's the hardest part. You carry so much momentum, and it feels like you're going 10 miles an hour faster, Kristen, and to try to woe it down and keep it on the line, sometimes it's hard to do.
Absolutely, and sometimes I think as well, it's one thing to put down one fast lap, but can you replicate that in a race?
Well, and if you get in front of these guys, can you stay in front of them, or will they retaliate and draft past? What I'm seeing right here is the 94 of Ryan Wells. The Royal Enfields haven't been on the miles very many times, so they're impressing me so far. They're up there right now. The 94 of Wells is actually now faster than his teammate Johnny Lewis. He moves up to 9th the last couple of laps. Johnny Lewis has slipped down to 11th. He was in that first group. Scooter Vernon's out there on the 274, just jumps up to 12th. Goes by Vanderkoy, Armstrong, Cisco, and Hill. Some of the guys at the bottom.
Scotty, how challenging is it to be in that second group?
Man, it's tough. It's tough because these guys aren't necessarily worse riders. They're just riders that don't have as many points. So to go out there when the Super Twins in the first group, they had a fresher track. It was just swept off. That's an advantage. To go out there with somebody that maybe you can't find a good drafting partner with, that's a disadvantage. So it definitely pays to be out there in that first group. Checkered flag is out. Group number 2. Carlisle, impressive, all the way up to second, but that last lap, so his fastest lap of 38.7, his last lap of 41.0. So that's what happens when you slip off the groove.
Absolutely, and that's also, for Colby, that has to be so encouraging. And as we look at Cody Kopp, earlier in that first session, you and I were talking about the bump. I ran out and I talked to him. So the reason he's using the bump is actually to give him more length on the bike for his legs, so that he can have for his long legs. So Cody is 6'3", and we didn't get out the tape measure, but he said 6'3" was the last time he was measured, and I believed him. Maxwell, he said 6'5". These are two very tall riders in the singles class. I don't know if he can hear us out there, but he's probably smiling in his helmet because I didn't believe him. I almost wanted to break out a tape measure. Does anyone have one? But he is 6'3", and so that bump that he's been utilizing not only kind of loads up the back end of the bike, it does create a little more traction, but its main reason their main reason for using it on the track this weekend is to create some more length for his legs, so then he has a better slot to slide his elbow in.
And it's more comfortable too. I promise you that when you're that tall, I was one of the taller riders. I'm at 6'2". It's hard to draft and get as small as you can because you're like you said, your elbow has nowhere to go. You're sitting there like this and trying to find a spot to put everything. So if he's up a little bit higher, he has a good spot to tuck his left elbow and his left arm in. So that's good information. Good job, Kristen. She's always out there working the beat.
Just on the beat reporter.
I liked last weekend all the history we got from you, that your dad and your brothers, they're racers, and you love this stuff. This isn't just your job, it's your passion, and I love that, Kristen.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It is super fun to be able to work in this. There's the bump. There's the illicit bump that we were talking about.
So we'll see if he gets up on that bump on the straightaways here in just a moment. There
Maxwell
goes Maxwell
actually did not want to use the bump. That's an option for him. They have one bike in the paddock set up under the Red Bull KTM tent with a bump. Cody has elected to use it, And I find that interesting because if Cody found success on it and seemed to like it, Max, for some reason, did not. And Max is even taller than Cody.
It's all about making sure that rider's comfortable. What the rider wants to do may be completely different than what his teammate wants to do.
Right. And this, I mean, guys, this is the class to watch. I'm so excited. I'm also looking for Shayna texter-bauman. She may be in that second session.
She is in, the
second section.
Second group, yes.
I'm going to keep an eye out for her, but of this class.
I'm sorry. I'm assuming that her transponder wasn't working. She was out there. We saw her go around the racetrack. So I'm assuming that transponder didn't work. We haven't had a report yet. But what about this class, Kristen?
The most competitive singles class that we've ever seen, period.
For the new fans, if you're new to flat track, singles means single-cylinder motorcycles. They're all four. Oh, Cody got it really sideways right there. That was a pucker-up moment. Hang on. Woo! Man.
So, Scotty, right now, the Essenson Racing Yamaha team electing to run a low pipe. Did you notice that?
Yeah, and, different people have different theories. They say the high pipe sometimes makes more horsepower, but I don't know. I mean, it's whatever they've learned, where they've been dealing with, where they're feeling. And here comes the 59 of Drain going by the one. So the two Essenson Yamahas have both gotten by Cody. But again, he made that mistake in turn 2. This time Maxwell makes a mistake in turn 1. It slips off the groove. That's going to open up the door for the 3-time Sacramento Mile winner, Trevor Bruner, goes by.
And this is the time to make mistakes. James Ott at the top of the board right now. Another Husky rider, both him and Chad Coase.
And he's at the back of the pack. Now he's caught up to the tail end of the field. He was out there trying to run it like Brian Smith. Now he's caught up to the end of the group. The 19 fastest bike on the track, a 3:9.385. That's a full second faster than Chad Coase was in the first round of practice.
And you know what? James Ott may be a dark horse bet as we were at a horse track this weekend for a potential win this weekend. He's light, he's dynamic, he's on a bike that has a whole lot of power. James Ott could surprise us this weekend.
And he's a California guy.
And he's a California guy.
For his first win.
Shayna texter to the side of our screen here. She's looking very focused out there. And Scotty, she's won here 4 times. She won here last time in 2019 it was. Yeah, just for Shayna, I think this weekend, it needs to start clicking.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and unfortunately for her, she's known not to be a TT specialist. She's more of a mile racer, a half-mile racer, so she's got to be licking her chops. She's got to be ready to get out there and put it on these guys. She's the winningest rider in this category, the AFT singles class.
But here's the thing about Shayna, from my perspective, one domino and y'all are done. She just needs a little bit of confidence, a little bit of wind in the sails. That's why I say she needs this one. She needs to have a good weekend here because once she gets that momentum behind her, we have 2 more miles up on the schedule and the Lima half mile. These are all tracks where she could be a threat. Just a little bit of confidence. And we said that about Dalton Gauthier in seasons past too. He just needs that domino to tip. Just one race. And I mean, that's when things start to really swing into motion.
So the Yamaha's out front. That's not the Yamaha we thought would be out front. That's actually the Australian, the Bomber. Drain, Tom the Bomber Drain is up to 3rd, and Sadoff goes to the top of the board right now. The 88, 3:9.125 for Chase Sadoff. The 88, his teammate right behind him, Trent Lowe, 3:9.139, just a skosh off of the lead. Ott on the 19, Husqvarna's up there in 3rd. Mishler for Tom Drain, who's out in front. He is currently 5th, and here comes the 79. Dalton Gauthier pulled off early in that last round, probably had to switch to the backup motorcycle. I see a white wheel on the back and a black rim on the front of the 79. He usually has a really good-looking purple set of rims, so I believe that might be the backup bike. Look at this big drafting pass. Here they come to the finish line. That's going to help some of these other riders. Mishler bumps up to the top spot, 3:8.953 for Morgan Mishler.
And look at that, 3 out of 4 in the top 4 are all on those Turner Racing Hondas. Can I say I'm surprised? No, nope. I'm not surprised. Nope. Those bikes have so much power. They're going to be so good here this weekend, but do they have the racecraft to take a win? And let's be honest as well, Trevor Bruner has won here 3 times. He's not a guy who qualifies, right? Like we know, Trevor Bruner is probably not going to impress us in qualifying. However, when it comes race time, do not forget about him.
And he slipped off the groove once, and that kind of blows your concentration a little bit, but his last lap for Bruner was the fastest of that session, a 3:9.191, so it's not far off of Morgan Mishler, 3:8.953. Morgan did have the luxury of that big group of riders just in front of him to pull him down the straightaway.
And listen, if you're Trevor Bruner and you know that your bike is capable of doing what it needs to do out there, we saw him within the top 5 in both sessions. That's got to be encouraging. Maybe he's trying lines out there. Maybe they're trying setup just to make sure they can't get it just even a tick better. So for Trevor Bruner, for some of those guys, I mean, if you already know that your setup's right, that second practice session is just the time.
Right, and it's different when there's 2 practice sessions. That's when you go out there and make changes. Also, the track changed. So if those changes that you just made, you could throw those out the window if that track changed. You didn't know that track was changing when you're back there in the pit area. So the folks that are asking about Shayna, she's on the racetrack right now. Shayna texter-bauman, that's Breyer's wife. Pulling onto the racetrack, and here comes, keep your eye on the 49, Chad Coates, the California kid. 82, Travis Pettin was your Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award winner last weekend at the short track.
What was that? What's going on here?
Chad doesn't want to go out front. He's like, well, what are we doing here? What are we doing? Hold on. Big P says not yet.
Yeah.
I think Chad wanted to get further on the outside and get a better launch off the line. All right, now Big Pieces, go ahead. Now it's going to be chicken. Terrence Santero out there. Yesterday was his birthday, and he was the winner at the Lodi Cycle Bowl last night, the big pro class.
There's Shayna Texter taking the start here. Now let's see what's going on with her transponder. I want to see a hot lap from Shayna. I want to see where she's at today.
And she's at the back of the pack, and that's on purpose. She's going out there. Maybe maybe she can catch up to some of those other guys, and they can pull her down the racetrack too. So Brian Smith used to always do it. Looks like Shayna Texter has chosen to do the exact same thing. She's at the very back of the pack. STB on the 52. KTM.
Scotty, when we look at a rider like Chad Coates, who some I think have counted out in the past, he is a veteran rider in this class. You have some really young kids in this class, then you have the wiry veterans like Chad Coates. How meaningful could a win here at Sacramento be for him at this point in his career?
I think it's huge. I mean, he got a win at the short track last year and gave me the victory lap at Cedar Lake, which was awesome because I called that one out on Friday actually, and we ran it down on Saturday. We ran it on Sunday, but that was awesome. But to win in your home state, it's huge. The team owner was there at the Lodi Cycle Bowl last night. He was pumped up and cheering him. He was down the infield with me and was just cheering Chad on so much. So more than just a team owner, he's a huge fan, and to do a win at a historic track like this would be huge for Chad.
I'm looking at the times right now. Morgan Mishler, top of the boards. Chase Sadoff and Trent Lowe. So that whole team.
We got a new leader.
Travis Pettin, you were just saying
I shouldn't have wrote it down. See, that's what happens. When I write something down, somebody goes ahead and drops it a little bit faster. Travis Pettin, who was our Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award winner last weekend at the short track, now has quick time here on the mile, a 3:8.799. And if you're wondering, he's the orange KTM number 82 on the racetrack.
Travis Pettin has been on a roll lately. He's starting to find his confidence. Could he be the next first-time winner this season?
He definitely could. I mean, that could definitely happen here. I know, everybody's got to be thinking Chase Sadoff might be the next first-time winner. Tom Drain could get up there and win one too. Santero's up to 10th. Cody Cobb, the defending champ, drops to 11th as Shayna texter-bauman goes up to 10th on that lap.
There we go. That's the Shayna texter-bauman that we all know. And she is a rider who can definitely race forward, and I mean that she can make passes. She's very methodical. I don't know if she plays chess, but it sure looks like it out there.
Yeah, she's very smart. She's so good on the miles. A lot of people say it's just because how small she is, but you still got to go out there and ride it. You still have to know when to make the pass. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. Don't show your cards too soon. As we're watching this battle coming across the start-finish line, that's the 26 of Bruce Evans and the Jet Jared Lowe on the 63. And they're back there a little bit deep in the field. Jared Lowe's on 13th. Shayna goes up to 8th on that lap, Kristen.
And that is great for Shayna because you know that that, like I said, one domino and the confidence is there, and we have 3 tracks coming up that she has won on before. This could be a good portion of the season for her.
Yeah, 3 miles in a row. This one here, then we go to the Red Mile Memorial Day weekend, and then just a few weeks later, we're going to the Magic Mile, DuQuoin, Illinois. That's a huge week of racing down there in DuQuoin as the Mission Foods Flat Track Grand Championships are there during that whole entire week. So there's going to be a lot of racing down there in Southern Illinois.
Absolutely. Now I'm going to hop out of here as that white flag is dropping. I got to go talk to some of these guys and see what's going on. And we're going to hand the mic over to Mr. Shaheen. I was keeping it warm for him. So I will see you guys next week.
There goes Kristen going outside. Let's see what's happening. Travis Pettin up there at the top spot, 3:8.797. Mishler still in second. Shayna texter-bauman out there on the racetrack right number 52 moves all the way up to 4th, 39.003 for STB. Terrence Santero leading this group off turn number 4. Justin Jones right there behind him on the 75 bike. Jared Lowe going up the inside. 38.777 for Chad Coase on the last lap, goes into the lead. Wow, Chad Coase backing it up. The 49, a 38.777. He was fastest in the first round of practice, and now fastest here in round number 2. Chad Coase on that last lap comes out of nowhere, goes to the top spot. The 49 Husqvarna, quick time. Travis Pettin, another California rider, up there second. Mishler is third. Fourth is Shayna Texter-Bauman. Fifth is James Ott. So the 2 first impressions, Husqvarnas are first and fifth right now. Zabala finding some speed on that last lap at 39.112, moves up to 6th. Sadoff goes down to 7th. Trent Lowe is 8th. That was group number 2. There's Shayna Texter-Bauman on the Parts Plus KTM. I'm Scotty Dubler. Kristen Beat just stepped outside, and now up here in the booth, the Sacramento, California native, Ralph Shaheen. Welcome back to your hometown.
Thank you, brother. It is so good to be here. Man, hey, everybody. Hope you guys are all doing well out there.
You've been out there signing autographs at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame
yep.
down there underneath the grandstands.
And everybody who's here needs to go under there and check that out. Mert Lawwell's over there. Yeah. Gonzo's over there.
Garth Brow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jerry Bernardo's here.
All
and
right.
Mike Rooney, Roondog. A couple
That's
of guys
cool.
that did a lot of announcing with here on the West Coast.
I heard you were a celebrity last night.
Well, I don't know about that, but I did get to go back to Gold Country Fairgrounds.
I think
up in
it was
Auburn.
on the news last night. I saw it.
Stop. Stop. You know,
stop it. Keep going.
Keep going. Stop.
No, so you went to one of your tracks where you used to announce.
Gold Country Fairgrounds in Auburn. They run Fast Friday Speedway every Friday night. Last night was a season opener.
And they said the announcer, when you turned the corner, they said, Ralph is in the building and you were mobbed.
It was pretty fun.
That's awesome. Good
Well, I
for
used
you.
to be the regular Friday night guy out there. Now it's Mike Rooney, who's one of our Hot Shoe Hall of Famers. And the last time I worked the PA up there was 1989. And the crazy thing, Scotty, was some of the guys that I was announcing back then still racing last night.
You know what? What you told me earlier when we were at the Mission Tent having our lunch, you said what the exciting part was there's about 20 of the little bitty racers out there.
20 kids all out there on 50s, and they threw up the tape, and all 20 of them charged off into turn 1 at the same time. And I went, oh, my God, this is going to be crazy.
That
and
is
they did
amazing.
Fantastic. And, I mean, that's the future of our sport, right? And it's so great to see.
You know, and you have to start somewhere. If you start going around in circles, whether it's Speedway, you might make your way over to American Flat Track.
Well, you would think there's a shot of it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You start racing at Gold Country, and the next thing you know, you're down at Lodi at the Cycle Bowl, and then you're here on the mile someday.
On the back straightaway, 140, Blake Ash is leading this group. Behind him is the 233 Christian Spurgeon. A couple of California natives out there leading this one. That's got to feel good, you know?
It's got to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But you know what? Props to those parents, too, for taking the time and putting in the effort financially and the time to get those little ones out there, too. There was boys and girls out there, moms and dads, enjoying the family side of motorcycling.
So while you're out there signing autographs and buying us some more T-shirts and stuff like that, we've gone through another. This is the second round of practice. Since we were here last year. It was in August. It was about 20 degrees hotter.
107, I think it was on race day.
I think it's like 115 when you put them leathers
Yeah,
on. We'll stretch it out a little bit further, and now today it's in the
you're right.
mid-90s. So it's a little bit cooler.
It's
20 degrees cooler
easily.
And I think that will make it cooler even when the sun goes down. Out here in California, it does that.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. Once you get to May here, end of April, early May, if you got a Jeep, for example, you can take the top off your Jeep, take the doors off your Jeep, store them in your garage. You're not going to need them until sometime in October.
Well, I have a Jeep rental car, but I didn't know where to take the doors and put the top. I didn't know where to put it. It wouldn't fit in the hotel room.
Yeah.
So I had to leave them on there.
But that's what people do out here. They just take that stuff, every weekend if you want to do an event outside, it's going to be sunny. It might be blazing hot, but it's going to be sunny.
There you go. Hall and Ash out in front, ASH. Did you see that? That's the hats and the shirts like that. I've got one of them. The 140 bike out in front. He's sitting back there in the 22nd spot right now. Here comes the 233, Christian Spurgeon. He's back there with him in the 21st spot, not able to make that draft pass. So it looked like he pulled the draft all the way down the front straightaway. There goes the 55 of Raggio. He's out there on the Rackley Racing Yamaha. Just got a quick peek of him. Some of these riders have never raced here before, even though they grew up here. We haven't raced out here on the amateur day since 2019. So they are racing amateurs here tomorrow and vintage riders. And it gets started early in the morning.
It's a big day.
Yeah, and I think practice is at 9 a.m. It's free to the spectators. So if
Isn't that great?
If you want some more racing, come on out here tomorrow morning. Here comes the 233, maybe pulled out of the draft a little bit too soon. Tucks back in. He needs to try and make the pass right before he gets to the finish line. Not able to do it. That 140 got a little bit more into the straightaway speed. Ash is back there in the 23rd spot. They were asking about Shayna texter-bauman the last couple of rounds. That first round of practice, she didn't have a time, so we're trying to figure out if the transponder didn't work or if it wasn't on the bike, but she's up there 4th right now, Shayna texter-bauman on the 52. Take a look at a replay. 155. Oh, no, that's not a good thing.
That's not the way that's supposed to go.
He probably had so much horsepower, it blew the head pipe out.
Well, you don't want me working on your motorcycle, but even I can tell you that's not right.
That's the funniest thing you've ever said.
That's it? That's all I had to do?
That's it.
That was the funniest thing I've ever
Ralph
said.
Sheen. He's not our mechanic. We just figured that out. I love it. Ralph's been out there signing autographs.
You do not want me working on your bike.
We figured that out.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you were working on his bike?
No, I'm saying you don't want me working on your bike, but even I can figure out that anyway.
You are cracking me up.
You're an easy sell.
I like it.
You're an easy sell.
Chad Coast, fastest in this second round of practice at 38.777. The track is getting faster every time they go out. I think it helped that the rubber's going down. It also helped that they brushed off some of the loose stuff. Declan Bender right there, the black and yellow leathers. He moves up to 11th in that session, a 39.388 for the Illinois rider.
Hey, you want to see the biggest score of the day?
What?
Maybe the guys in the truck will
get another coin.
Put us on back here.
Uh-oh. A sticker.
Look at that.
Oh, man, that is cool.
Is that not cool?
Look at the progressive Skycam shot. Yeah, see if we can,
got a shot back here?
Show this here. Show the booth for us.
Biggest score of the day.
So Ralph was out there signing autographs, but now I know what he's
sitting
really
next to this
doing.
guy, and I got handed this.
Look at that. Mert Lawwell Concepts right
How
there.
How rad is that?
That is cool.
Is that not one of the coolest stickers you've ever seen?
That is very cool. I love it.
Oh.
There's a couple of adaptive racers out there.
They're going to be out racing tomorrow.
On the mile, and one of them's from Illinois, one of them's from out here. Sherman Lee's from out here, Jake McCullough from over there in Illinois. Both of them raced last night, the Lodi Cycle Bowl. We're at Sacramento, California, the capital of California. When we come back, it is qualifying time right here at the Sacramento Mile. We'll be back.
On Saturday, July 22nd, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing rumbles into New Jersey's Bridgeport Motorsports Park.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with progressive American flat track. It's the Bridgeport Half Mile at Bridgeport Motorsports Park in Swedesboro, New Jersey. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Introducing the all-new 2021 Rebel 1100 from Honda.
S&S Cycle was born from a passion for racing and has spent over 60 years building high performance for the power sports market. All the while, racing has remained at our core. From the Bonneville Salt Flats to championships in progressive American flat track, S&S is the go-to for high performance on and off the racetrack.
Tom Duma Fine Jewelers is proud to be the official jeweler for our 10th year to Progressive American Flat Track, providing championship rings for each class in 2023. Tom Duma Fine Jewelers wants to be your jeweler. Check us out online for all your jewelry needs, from engagement rings to fashion jewelry to watches, in all price points to fit everyone's budget. Shop like a pro. Shop TDFJ.com. Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Back on track. A Rookies of 79 501c3 charity was established in 2009 by former racers to help injured racers get back on the racetrack or the track of life. Assistance is provided to injured racers through our posted schedule of benefits and special fundraising programs, where 100% of your donation goes directly to ease the financial burden from an injury sustained on the racetrack. Please consider supporting injured racers by purchasing a 50/50 ticket at today's event. Check us out on the web at backontrack79.com and donate today. Every donation is tax deductible and will make a difference in an injured racer's life. Rent tools and equipment from more than 70 leading brands, plus the full line of CAT machines, big and small. The right equipment, the right technology, the right team. All right when and where you need it. Visit catrentalstore.com.
When you think of a ride, you think of quality.
When it comes to hitting the ground and protecting your head, I wouldn't wear anything else. The design of it is round and smooth, so when you're rolling through the dirt, your helmet doesn't catch the dirt and hurt your neck.
Safety in flat track and motorsports in general is probably the biggest concern. Obviously, we're all here to win. At the end of the day, we're all concerned about our well-being, and for that, you want to have the best gear on, you know, and for me, a ride is the best choice.
Knopf is a global leader in insulation products. More than 40 years of experience. Knopf is one of the fastest growing and most respected names in insulation worldwide. Knopf is committed to helping customers to meet the increasing demand for energy efficiency and sustainability in homes, non-residential buildings, and industrial applications.
Grown with water from the Colorado Rockies. Pesticide-free, meticulously tested soil, carefully harvested by hand in order to develop our enriched CBD formula, producing highly concentrated CBD products so you can perform at your best every single time. Learn more at zocbd.com.
We come from all walks of life. We don't need a reason to ride or even a destination. It's not what or where we ride that defines us, because no matter where we're headed, it's what happens along the way that makes us who we are. We may not know where the ride will take us, but one thing's for sure. With the Law Tigers, you never ride alone. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers.
For American flat track fans, the last Saturday in June can only mean one thing: the return of the Lima Half Mile. June 24th, the Allen County Fairgrounds comes alive with the fastest flat track motorcycle racers on the planet. Celebrating America's original extreme sport, the 2023 running of the Mission Foods Indian Motorcycle Lima Half Mile, presented by Drag Specialties, is on. Get your tickets now at limahalfmile.com.
Cometic gasket is the official gasket of American Flat Track. For decades, American Flat Track champions have depended on Cometic to seal their engines. Cometic gaskets are the professional standard for racers who demand the very best. For more information, log on to Cometic.com. Cometic gasket, sealing champions since 1989. Klotz Synthetic Lubricants is proud to be the official lubricant of American Flat Track and 8-time AFT national champion Jared Meese. Family owned and made in America since 1959, Klotz has built its reputation by answering the call of racers and performance enthusiasts who won't settle for anything less than superior synthetic lubricants. Racers and performance buffs around the world rely on Klotz to get them to the checkered flag. Order today at KlotzLube.com.
Mobile View has been providing state-of-the-art LED video screens to sporting and special events throughout the U.S. and Canada since 1999. We use our vast experience of thousands of events to help guide the process of finding the right size screen to help make your event a memorable experience for your fans and sponsors. Arai Helmet started racing in America in flat track, and we've been supporting it ever since. Arai, handcrafted with an obsessive dedication to rider protection. For more information, please visit our website, AraiAmericas.com.
Rent tools and equipment from more than 70 leading brands, plus the full line of CAT machines, big and small. The right equipment, the right technology, the right team. All right when and where you need it. Visit catrentalstore.com. Whether amateur or pro, VP has a motorcycle fuel to make more power. Keep your race bike cool with Stay Frosty Race Ready Coolant and high performance formula for your street bike. Learn more at vpracingfuels.com.
This year sees Royal Enfield return for an all-new season of Build, Train, Race, and a big step forward for the Moto Anatomy powered by Royal Enfield team. For the first time, Royal Enfield steps into the premier class for a full season of AFT racing, this time with a 2-rider team. Meet the racers and check out the machines of both of Royal Enfield's groundbreaking programs.
DCT is an automatic transmission. You heard right. The Honda DCT is a fully automatic transmission. For a motorcycle, it'll shift faster than you can, at the right time, right speed, and right RPM. And when you want to shift for yourself, use paddle shifters mounted on the left handlebar. Take a DCT demo on a new Honda Africa Twin and other available models. Schedule your DCT demo right now at Al Lamb's Dallas Honda.
Rev up to get fueled by mission as the world's most extreme dirt track riders and tastiest products come together to fuel your flavor. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy to make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
Memorial Day weekend, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing roars onto the Red Mile in Lexington, Kentucky.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Celebrate Memorial Day weekend with Progressive American Flat Track. The Red Mile, presented by Indian Motorcycle of Lexington. Saturday, May 27th. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Grown with water from the Colorado Rockies. Pesticide-free, meticulously tested soil, carefully harvested by hand in order to develop our enriched CBD formula, producing highly concentrated CBD products so you can perform at your best every single time. Learn more at zoecbd.com.
Al Lamb's Dallas Honda is proud to sponsor the Singles Challenge. No holds barred, winner takes all dash for cash. The payout, a cool $2,500. Al Lamb's Dallas Honda, riding red since 1977. DallasHonda.com.
If bigger is better, then bigger plus tougher plus smarter must equal something pretty special. Something like the all-new Honda Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew. This is Honda's very first crew model side-by-side, giving you more seating, more hauling, more towing. Standard hard doors and spacious legroom make entering and exiting the Pioneer 1000 crew easy. And on the back bench, the center seat is pushed forward to optimize shoulder room and comfort. At the core of the new crew model is a class-leading engine, paired with Honda's exclusive dual-clutch transmission, featuring a high-low sub-transmission, true engine braking, paddle shifting, and drive modes including a tow-haul mode. And since the DCT uses no belts, belt burnout will never slow you down. The auto-leveling rear suspension ensures optimal handling and comfort, even when you're fully loaded with passengers and gear, while abundant cabin storage keeps your essentials close at hand. Common sense components mean you can work smart and customize your vehicle with ease. This is the first ever Honda Pioneer 1006 Deluxe Crew. Built bigger, tougher, smarter, better. From Honda.
Kicker Performance Audio is your fuel for living loud and a proud sponsor of American Flat Track, the original extreme sport. Now in our 50th year, Kicker has been the world leader in audio gear for cars, trucks, motorcycles, and America's roads. Kicker Audio is living loud. Once again, for the 2023 season, all Progressive American Flat Track classes are running the race-proven DT4 tire from Dunlop. Designed for pro and amateur riders alike, the DT4 has multiple compound options, an aggressive tread pattern, and can be run tubeless for greater overall performance. Dunlop, the official tire of Progressive American Flat Track. Lincoln Welders is the official welder of American Flat Track Racing. When it comes to welding, cutting equipment, and safety apparel, Lincoln Electric is the choice. Go to LincolnElectric.com for all your welding, cutting, and safety apparel needs. And remember to hashtag WeldRed with all your projects.
The Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck makes those hard-to-reach valve stems a thing of the past. The unique swivel design allows you to reach all valve stems. From baggers to sport bikes to UTVs, the Motion Pro Pro-Fill Air Chuck has you covered. Motion Pro has innovative products to help you maintain and repair your motorcycle, ATV, or UTV. Find the Pro-Fill Air Chuck and much more at motionpro.com. Knauf is a global leader in insulation products. More than 40 years of experience. Knauf is one of the fastest growing and most respected names in insulation worldwide. Knauf is committed to helping customers to meet the increasing demand for energy efficiency and sustainability in homes, non-residential buildings, and industrial applications.
The open road. To those who understand what it offers, it's a call that has to be answered. What lies ahead? Who knows? It's in our nature to explore the possibilities and embrace the unknown. We round the corners of the journey, ready to take in the full beauty of what we see. We travel the same road, knowing the unexpected may occur. When you need us, we'll be there with the strength and experience that makes us who we are. The Law Tigers. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers.
On Saturday, July 8th, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing rolls into Orange County Speedway in Middletown, New York.
Oh, boy, right up the inside. He certainly felt that.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with Progressive American Flat Track. Don't miss the Orange County Half Mile in Middletown, New York. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're out here at the Mission Foods Sacramento Mile, powered by Law Tigers. 2 rounds of practice are in the books. We have 2 rounds of qualifying coming up next. Mission Super Twins, their first round of qualifying is next when they get done working on the racetrack. And again, there's an open paddock for you fans that are here, and that is going on from 5:45 until 6:35, the pit area. Just outside turn number 4, right where the front straightaway gets started. You can head back to the pit area. Open paddock from 5:45 till 6:35. Ventura just in front of the grandstands and underneath the grandstands. For you diehard race fans, there is more flat track racing out here tomorrow, the amateurs and vintage. It gets started early, about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And then next weekend, the Dick Mann Memorial Championship. That is an ARMA Dirt Track National. That's going on 3 days of racing at Lodi Cycle Bowl. The running of the bulls will be there. It's double points for them on Friday night. Classic 12 ARMA National Vintage classes, plus 250, 450 Hooligan Mad Dogs, and more.
Truly one of the nicest gentlemen I've ever met in all of motorsports, Dick Mann.
Dick Mann's amazing, yeah. So
I put him up there with guys like Jackie Stewart, people like that who are just Dan Gurney, just true gentlemen.
It's amazing the people you meet through motorsports, you know, Ralph.
Scotty, when I sit back and I think of when I was a kid, literally a kid, sitting in these very grandstands watching races, dreaming that someday, somehow I'd find a way to be involved in the sport, and to think of where it's gone and what I've done, where I've been, who I've met, it's incredible. I mean, talk about fairy tale dreams come true, and I know it's the same for you.
It is. You know, back when I was a kid, I was shy. I didn't want to even pick up the phone and call anybody, and now I look at the people that I have just in my phone, just
Crazy,
people
right?
I've met that are friends of mine, heroes of mine, some of them, you know, Doug
Most
Wolfgang,
of them, right?
Ronnie Jones, just other people like that I looked up to as a kid and now are friends of mine that I talk to, and it's amazing all through my favorite sport, flat track motorcycle racing, and I'm honored. I'm very lucky.
We're both very blessed that way, and it's been just incredible. And that's why, you know, whenever you have a chance to meet younger kids who have an interest in any part of our industry, I always tell them, chase your dream, because as crazy as people might think you are for wanting to do it, and I know I had family who thought I was nuts wanting to do what I'm doing, and now they don't.
Right.
But I know when I was back in college, they sure thought so, and you know what? I don't blame them.
Right.
Because it did sound crazy, right?
And it's a path that none of them have ever taken before,
right.
So it's something that's
very non-traditional.
Correct.
And that's why I've always told my kids, Lucas and Olivia, that, look, do whatever you're passionate about. Because if you do that and you're lucky enough to make it, you'll never work a day in your life.
And
you'll have hard days at the job,
right.
But you'll never work a day.
And you mentioned Olivia. It is her 20th birthday today, and she's celebrating with you at
the
your
Sacramento
home
Mile.
track.
How great is that?
That's
it's
perfect.
like it should be my birthday, because that's what I would want
That was
on my
last
birthday.
time when we were here.
It was, but I mean, that's the kind of day I would want on my birthday, getting to go to the Sac Mile and bring my kids with me.
Exactly. Super Twins are lining up right now for their first round of qualifying. Mission Super Twins, and that is presented by S&S Cycle. And a little
The beauty
bit
of that is we get ice cream after.
I cannot wait.
Oh yeah,
Are those friends of yours, or just? That's what I thought.
The Leatherby family have their ice creamery, I guess is what you would call it, right?
I like that.
Right down the street here on Arden Way, and the Leatherby family. I went to school with those kids since grammar school, all the way through high school. Alan Leatherby, who now runs the family corporation, the older son, broke my arm in football practice on my 16th birthday.
Well, you'll never forget that.
No,
obviously.
I haven't, and nor has he. He felt terrible about it.
So you get free ice cream for life,
yeah,
is what
right?
you're saying.
Yeah, he was a year older than me and much bigger, and he pretty good shot on me that day, and I fell backwards and landed on my arm. Got the radius and the ulna, got them both.
There goes Jiggy Dog to get in some shade right now at the Mission Tent.
Man, you know what? Speaking of that, I got to finish telling you the story. So they put the full L cast on, right? I'm 16, so of course, what do I want to do the very next day? I want to get my license.
You want
right? The night before, the night of my birthday, I went to the Memorial Coliseum downtown here, saw Foghat, was it Foghat, Molly Hatchet, and Blackfoot.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It was great. Had to keep my arm over my head all night. You know?
Because it was
right,
prevent swelling. Yeah.
Next day, I go to get my license, so I can barely get my finger on the steering wheel because of the shape of the cast and everything. You know, the guy docked me points for that.
Because you couldn't hold on to the wheel,
Yeah,
right?
he goes, you're driving with one hand. I'm like, I got a cast on. What do you want me to do?
Exactly.
He's like, I don't care. I'm docking. I still passed, but
Yep.
I'll never forget that.
That was the old days with the plaster cast, and then you had to keep them covered up with the trash bag when you took a shower.
And then the next day you go to school and everybody wants to sign it, right?
Yeah, and you start itching down there. You have to get the clothes hanger.
Clothes hanger in there,
yeah, exactly. The good old days.
Good old days, yeah.
Getting set to go with our second round, actually our first round of qualifying. We've had 2 rounds of practice, now 2 rounds of qualifying. This is where the times count, and they're all going for that Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award, which is extra money on the line.
Okay, a warning.
Yes.
Because it's coming.
Okay.
Dallas Daniels.
I did. We said ice cream, and Brad
Tree's
Jones
back here.
shows
He's
up.
already thinking about ice cream.
You
Not
said
a boy,
free
Tree.
ice cream?
Free ice cream.
Yeah, free. You just want to come back here. We don't have any ice cream back. I mean, it's cold enough to have ice cream back here in our booth, but we don't have any.
Some meat back here.
Okay, here at ice cream as he shows up. He is 6'5" and about 270.
Just play big. Just
okay, 250.
Right.
Ish, 270-ish. Maybe closer to 250. I don't know.
Hey, we're all going to be 270 after the ice cream tonight.
I know he's bigger than me.
Yeah. So Dallas stopped me earlier today.
Okay.
And he said, hey, I grew up listening to you when you would call Supercross. I said, yeah. He said, you used to always say, you know, Ryan Dungey lights the candles when a rider would win. And they would come over the finish line jump. They had the pyro.
Yeah.
The pyro would go off, and I would say, so-and-so lights the candles here at wherever we were, right?
Yeah.
He said, I want you to say next time I win a race, Dallas Daniels lights the candles at wherever. And I said, okay. I said, I'm going to catch a lot of flack for it, I'm sure.
Because there's no candles.
There's no candles. I said, but for you, Dallas, I'm happy to do that.
I love it.
If you appreciate that's cool to me that you want that. So everybody out there, just know when I say that, because Daniels might win tonight.
Right.
Might happen here tonight.
Well, he's got first or second at all 6 rounds so far. And he won here last year, so he's got a good chance to do that.
Possibility is there. So I'm going to have to say that at some point in time. If that's the kind of request he wants, I'm more than happy to do that.
So you're taking a request?
On that I am.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I did for Tony Myring's son.
Yes.
Was here.
Yep.
Little River.
Yep.
Is it River is the name? Race? Can't remember what his name is.
He got a victory lap last night when his dad, Tony Myring, won the Dash for Cash.
Yeah. So I gave him one of those today. Mom recorded it for him.
That's awesome.
Tree wants to hear ice cream again.
Tree's still giving us a hard time about ice cream.
Tree, you going hot fudge? Yeah, baby. All the fudge.
All right.
And the whipped cream, nuts, and a cherry.
First
all in.
round of qualifying is on the track. Mission Super Twins, 32, Dallas Daniels. The 1 is Meese, 95, J.D. Beach. The 3, Briar Bauman. 67, Davis Fisher. 44 is Brandon Robinson. And it looks like Daniels goes a little bit wide going into 3. Maybe he wants to get in line.
Scotty, outside of the top 2 spots, right? Because obviously you want one of those because you want to get in the Too Fast, Too Tasty challenge, right?
Right.
Do you feel like qualifying is not as important on a mile as it would be like last week at Ventura?
Last week it was the thing that you wanted to do when you focused
it was
on
very
the most.
important.
Here, I would like to be in the first 2 rows, get close enough to, you don't want to lose the draft,
No,
and you can
wanna
do
be
that in the first corner.
yeah.
So it's not as important, except for the Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award, $500
Well, yeah.
is $500.
Well, and the $5,000 that's out there too, if you get the challenge. I get the money side of it, but I'm just talking about strategy-wise. As long as you're in the first 2 rows, you should be okay, right?
Yeah, Ralph, we've seen Dallas Daniels has messed up now twice in a row going into turn 3. Maybe he's trying a different line, but the 32 has slipped wide a little bit down there in turn 3. And maybe he just doesn't want to show Jared his line just yet.
Well, Jared's going to love the fact that he's this far out in front of these guys.
Well, yeah,
he's going to like to think that he's got him covered like that.
Well, and that's the fastest laps we have seen now with the 3:8.295 the last time by.
But look at this. Look at Dallas coming back.
Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah, this should be a good lap for Dallas. This time he keeps it on the bottom. He's actually closing the gap on the leader.
Buddy, that thing is flying.
Yeah, this might be the quickest lap we've seen. Right now, it's 3:8.295 for Meese. Last time by Robinson was second. Here comes Dallas, a much better turn 3 and 4. Closing the gap on the leader. Will it be good enough to take the top spot?
And Breyer and JD.
It is.
Look at that.
3:8.236. Ralph, you called it early on.
3:8.144.
For the 44. Robinson fastest on the racetrack right now. The 44 bike has came to play.
I think he was in a little bit of a draft there. I think that's got him that. Yeah, he's at the tail end there. And behind Davis Fisher and JD.
And those three are
look at
really
Daniels
good
now.
friends. Yeah, Dallas is going after the one. He's going to send a little statement right here, say, hey, I'm still fast.
There's no friendship up here.
No, and this is for the championship right here.
This is hardcore.
These guys are going for it. I like how they're all trying to tuck in and come underneath that little bump coming off of turn number 4 right there. That's going to be strategy too if you're
37.955 Breyer Bauman on the big, powerful KTM.
That is because he caught these two just in front of him, Dallas Daniels and...
You should celebrate, Michelle.
And Michelle just saw it right there on the live.
She likes
timing
what
and
she
scoring.
sees.
She loved it, but he did lose a little bit on this lap. But, yeah, he drafted up right
I don't
onto
know
the
if anybody's
back
going to be able to match that, though. That might be the number right there, 37.955. Way to go, Breyer.
Robinson's not too far off, a 3:8.014. He's back there. He's got 2 riders to draft with. Man, it's really chunking up coming off of 4. Yeah. There's Michelle DeSalvo, the crew chief. I'd give her the crew chief. Her and Dave Zanotti, they both split
co-crew chief.
Yeah, co-crew chief. Zanotti's the team owner, though, too, but...
very, very deserving of the title, both of them.
Right
Running for that Rick Ware Racing.
Ware Racing, yeah,
Tonto
exactly.
Parts Plus. Rick's got a crazy weekend here in the state. He's got cars running down at Laguna Seca WeatherTech Raceway down there. IMSA's down there, so he's got his LMP2. Did you see he signed Juan Pablo Montoya for that?
How amazing is that?
He's got Juan Pablo Montoya and Jensen Button running for him.
There you go.
And some of his car stuff.
That's a lethal combination.
Couple of world champions there.
So Bob with AFT events. Oh, there goes Breyer up to the high side. He said there will be candles at the rest of the AFT events. Just for you.
I love it. I will make that happen.
I love it too. Quick announcement for you fans in the stands. Larry, could you please report back to the Back on Track charity? You left your credit card. Larry, please go back to the charity booth, unless you want to donate a little bit extra.
Yeah, right. Buy a couple of tickets to throw Scotty Mine's name in for that Yamaha down there.
Here comes the Breyer. 3 of Breyer. This is when he's drafting and he takes a look down.
He felt it.
Whatever, something wasn't right, and he's going up the racetrack right here. No, this is on the lap before. Yep, there he goes off the groove. He felt something and looked down, and then he drifted up the racetrack.
Hey, remember I was telling you how crazy of a weekend it is for Rick Ware because he's got cars running down at Monterey as well. He just texted me. Just got here, standing on the front stretch.
Nice.
I love it. Just in time to watch Breyer go to the top of the board.
That is cool. Breyer
Welcome,
Bauman.
Rick. Glad to have you here, and best of luck tomorrow when you get back down to Laguna.
37.758 for Breyer. Jared Meese is second, 37.951. I'm not writing this one down yet because every time I write it down, I have to scratch it out because somebody goes faster in the next group.
You think somebody's going to go faster than 37.758?
I just know I'm not going to write it down yet.
I think you can put it in ink. Write it in a Sharpie on your skin.
I'm writing it down right now.
I think you're good with that one.
The 3.
Yes.
37.7.
Not that there's not somebody in here that could turn a lap.
Well, the riders that are out there, the 25 Ben Lau, the 36 Kobe Carlisle, the 94 is Ryan Wells, Casey Sisko's on the Harley-Davidson 61, Michael Hill, the 47, Scooter Vernon 274, Jimmy McAllister 50, and the 60 of Nick Armstrong. Colby was putting some good laps in.
Colby's the kind of guy that could do it. Hey, Kristen, what can you tell us?
Yeah, after watching that first Super Twin session, I was so excited to see that Breyer Bauman has figured out the corners here. You know, the Sacramento Mile is very similar to a paper-clip kind of track. You have these really long straights, but those corners get really narrow. And when I was talking with Breyer earlier in the day, he seemed a little bit anxious as to how the bike would handle in those tight corners, but there is no question this bike and this setup, they have figured it out, guys.
I'll tell you what he did like. How powerful that engine is on that long straightaway.
Yeah, when you can really use all that horsepower on a mile racetrack, that's what you want.
And that's been Breyer's biggest challenge, and Michelle and Dave as well, dialing in that big, powerful KTM on the shorter tracks. This is the first time we've been to the mile this year and he's really able to let that thing open up and fly, and it's working.
Yep, there's the 36 getting by right there, but slips wide. Once again, that's what's been going on with Colby Carlisle. If he uses the draft pass, he slipped up a little bit. So, again, when Kristen was in here, Ralph, you may not have heard because you were out there signing autographs, but you go 10 miles per hour faster in the corner, and sometimes it carries the momentum off the grid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
No, I know you are.
All right. But you had fun out there
at the
at
wonderful
the Hot
time
Shoe Hall
at the
of
Hot
Fame
Shoe Hall of
tent.
Fame. And I enjoy you picking on me because you're a member of it as well.
I sure am.
Deservedly so.
Thank you
Oh,
very
we got
much.
a red flag.
Uh-oh.
There's a handful of big-time announcer guys here this weekend hanging out. You and I, who are both members of there, and then I mentioned Jerry Bernardo and Mike Rooney, who are both here, well-known announcers as well.
That's pretty cool. Coming out to check out the legendary Sacramento Mile. It's the 57th running of this race.
Can you believe it?
Red flag is out there. Our red wheel and lights on all the way around the racetrack. So the flagmen and women in the corners, some of the corners do have them too, like especially going into the corners so they can know that to slow it down as soon as you can, safely as possible. And, that means there's something going on in front of you.
When you ran the mile,
yes,
I know a short track and a half mile and a TT is all very different, right? But on the mile, you're going so fast down the straightaways. Now, I've done some stock car racing schools and things like that, and they always tell you when you're going down the backstretch, as you're getting to turn 3, don't look at turn 3. Take a glance over to turn 4 because you'll see if there's an issue over there. By the time you're entering into 3, you need to know that there's a problem over 4 because you're going to be there before you know.
Well, to relate that to like riding in the woods, if you look at a tree, you're going to hit that tree.
Course.
So you try to look ahead. If you go to, Danny Walker's, the Super Camp, or
I get all that, but I'm saying, would you take a glance? For safety purposes, would you glance to see what the guys in front of you are doing?
It kind of depends on who's in front of you and how far in front of you are. Every situation is a little bit different. But, yeah, you're trying to look and see what's coming up. You know what those guys in front of you are going to do typically, but, yeah, try to keep watching ahead and just see if you can see what's going on. If there's something, that you want to be aware of, you can start slowing down because they only have rear brakes. You only have a front brake on a TT, so it's hard to woe these things down.
I've seen lots of races where – guy will spin out coming off a 4 and sitting there,
duck,
stopped,
and
10 seconds later, yellow's been out and somebody still plows into them, and you're just like, how does that happen? Well, that's because they're not looking further than the edge of the hood. You got to look beyond the end of the hood.
Yeah, keep watching ahead of what's in front of you. There's Nick Armstrong right there. Builds his own motorcycles right there. He's got the name of it on his gas tank. It is the 47. He's up and on his feet. He's shaking it off just a little bit. The Missile's got the mullet going on the 47 bike. He's on the Scott Power Sports McGrain Racing Kawasaki, and he's going to get a ride back to the pit area, and he looks like he is hurting.
Yeah.
And, the air fence is there. Probably one of the best safety features in American flat track.
One of the best safety features. Two things that I think have been incredibly
Ryan Wells having some fun.
Been so fantastic when it comes to rider safety that have been developed recently. The air fence being one.
Yes.
And the suits.
The airbag suit.
The airbag
I agree.
suit.
Yep. They're huge. Still, though, when you hit the ground at 120 miles an hour or whatever,
they're going 120,
into the corner, it's still going to hurt. And then you hit the air fence. It's better than hitting a wall or better than hitting a hay bale or a straw bale. But
it is amazing how much a hay bale will help.
Oh,
it really is incredible.
It will absorb the speed.
And that's a good look at the inflatable suit.
And that's the big backbone right there, too. And that's for drafting. So when the air goes over the helmet, it goes around that big hump on the back and goes down the back of your leathers.
Well, and on the back of the helmet, too, you can see the clear piece there. That's all part of the aerodynamic that
that's
companies like Arai have come up with.
That's a couple of years old. I think they first saw that in flat track on the Indy Mile. It's an air diffuser, and that thing is meant to break off if you go down. It's not going to be a sharp edge to make your neck move one way or the other. That thing is meant to pop off. And
all of that started with IndyCar racing at the speedways, especially the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
It is May.
It is. God, thank God it's the month of May. Best
your
month
favorite,
of the year.
Right? I was going to say.
Best month of the year.
Well, it's because it's your daughter's birthday.
Well, and my son's. He's at the end of the month.
That's right. And Daytona or Indy 500.
Yep. The Indy 500.
Yep.
Oh man, I got to get you there.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
You got to come.
That'd be fun. Let's do it.
You got to come.
We'll just call in sick one day.
Well, that would be Lexington.
Well, we can't do that.
We can't do the Red Mile. But that is truly something every sports fan needs to experience that. 400,000 people in there. It's just, there's nothing like it.
It's trying to find
nothing like the Indy Mile either.
Exactly.
Man, that was something else.
Man, I think I deleted the picture. I had a picture of Nick Armstrong's frame, and he named that motorcycle, and now I cannot find it. Did I get rid of that?
There she is. Cal Expo, Sacramento Mile. Full view of it.
Somebody turned the air conditioner on in here. Paper
Lake
went everywhere.
The infield. They run the sulkies, as they call them, the horses harness racing.
Is that where they have the little buggy behind the horses? Yeah. Have you done that?
I've not done that, no.
Me neither.
No.
I want to control my own fate with the handlebar. All right,
the pit area for the horses is off the backstretch back there. All
back where those barns are at?
That's where they would be.
So one lap is complete. They have 4 laps to go here in this first round of qualifying. The time to beat, Briar Bauman on the Rick Ware Racing Parts Plus KTM, a 3:7.758. 2 bikes in the 37-second range. Jared Meese, the 4-time winner of this race, a 3:7.951 is second. Robinson is third. Dallas Daniels fourth, and his teammate J.D. Beach is fifth.
They had a big country concert here last weekend, Country in the Park. It's a big thing they do here every year.
Yep.
Right on the front straightaway. So they had to spend the first couple of days of the week
cleaning house.
it up. It was a big 3-day concert.
Ben Lau grabs the hole shot. He's trying to get out away from everybody. Take a look over his shoulder, seeing who's coming with him. He wants to see who's going to play chase with or play, drafting partners with. And it's the 36 again. If these guys can work together, it might help.
Do you remember when there used to be the fencing on the inside of the corners here?
Yes, I raced here when the fencing was there, and you actually could put your arm. It felt like it was underneath the guardrail. I'll have to find that picture too.
And as media guys, we used to be able to go down and stand down there.
Oh yeah.
And I remember watching Steve Moorhead, who's here with us now, come through there once, and Moorhead put the handlebar all the way down into the dirt and scuffed
and
that
drug it
left grip right through the dirt.
Yep.
Picked it back up, got back into the throttle, and rode it right out of turn number 2.
That's cool.
Like, oh
That's cool.
my God, he's amazing.
And it was white, like tubing fence in the infield. I remember that.
I'm guessing for safety purposes they pulled that out. Well, similar to the fencing that you see there.
Right. And it's okay for the horses.
Yeah.
But when those bikes get down there and go at that high rate of speed, it's not safe.
No. And they used to run the cars here, too, for a few years.
Did you ever come out here for that?
I did. I helped on the promotion of it.
Did you announce it?
Years. I worked on that, yeah.
Cool. Kobe Carlisle, the G&G Yamaha, jumps up to third place, 3:7.994 for Colby, and he is out in front. He's gotten by Ben Lau, and if he can keep it on the groove, he could have an excellent night tonight.
They call that the Golden State 100.
I love the sound of the bikes on the mile. Get to hear all that horsepower. 3 miles in a row, Ralph.
Fantastic, right? Just like we get, there we go, a little draft action. Let's see if that changes things around. Ben moves to number 2, 3:37.764.
That shows you right there how important the draft is.
He's in the hunt to upset Briar and leave you stuck with that ink on your arm.
Well, you told me to write it down.
I can't believe you'd listen to me.
I did. Why wouldn't I, Ralph?
Colby Carlisle, draft and passed.
Told me to write it down, so I did.
I still think it's going to stick. This session's got to be.
It's pretty close.
Pretty close.
There we go.
That's you. Yeah, there you are. Look at you.
That's the inside guardrail that you were talking about. That's an 883 Harley.
Yeah, nice.
Laurel Lake Harley-Davidson. Team based out of San Mateo, California, that I rode for. Rod Lake was part of that. The Bergstrom family. Yeah, Rod was there last night, the Lodi Cycle Bowl too. And
saw him here today.
It's a huge flat track fan. Here comes the 25. See if these two are, look, they're working together, it seems like, and it's working out for them.
We need to leave that up there.
Should I send it to the tree?
Well, we're going to show that here.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Tree wants to know we're talking high school. Got a picture for you, Tree, to show everybody at home. Our boy, Scotty. That's Scotty. Yeah, hard to believe, I know.
Carlisle up to second. Ben Loud to the top spot.
Oh,
I
he
should
did
have
it.
wrote it down.
You should write that in ink. That 37.654 is going to stay. You should write that in ink on your arm.
I knew it. I told you if I write it down, it changes.
And
that
Carlisle goes to second with a 37.729, and Briar Bauman gets bumped back to third with a very impressive 37.7. Imagine that you run a 37.758, and it kicks you back to third.
That is nuts.
That's
I told
awesome.
you if I write it down, it wasn't going to stick.
All right, Tree. You got me here? Let's see. Show the folks at home. There he is, folks. Our boy Scotty.
It looks like somebody
What's
else
going
is
on on your
listening
phone?
too.
Why is it doing
I think
that?
that's Siri.
Oh, Siri. Stop listening.
Siri didn't race out here.
Oh.
Oh, they're going to lose it, huh?
Yeah, she's.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, we have to be careful of what pops up on there. Anyway,
there it is.
There's Scotty.
I found it.
883, huh?
Yep. Harley-Davidson. It was an 883 support
Lake
class.
Harley.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Laurel Lake
sure.
class. Got the gold leaf star on my helmet. That's
Liking it.
that's
I'm
the
liking it.
same thing Doug Wolfgang used to run.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at you.
I'm not doing very good holding
You got
the
all
phone.
the form and everything going.
Man, I was too tall. Too
Was that-
tall
was
to
that
race
the
flat
problem?
track. I don't know. That was the good days, man. I had a lot of fun racing, especially out here in California.
I want to see the pictures of you with a mullet. You got any of those in there? You didn't do the
You
mullet?
know, we didn't do the mullets. We had the curly hair in the back. Ronnie Jones, Kevin Atherton, and
Oh, yeah.
and we would get a
Cupcake
perm in the
yeah.
back.
Oh, you got a perm?
Oh yeah.
And you're admitting that on air?
Well,
That's
hey,
the funniest
I've
thing
already
that's
been
been
kicked out
said
of
all
Oklahoma.
day.
They can't kick me out again. Man, we're having fun today.
Okay, perms.
Yeah. You never.
I didn't do a mullet. I just did. I had the long hair down. I'll show you. I got a pic of
He's
that.
getting pictures out.
I'll show
Ralph's
you
getting pictures. Denim jacket
Well-
with AC/DC on it.
No, this is a skiing picture.
Skiing with long hair?
Yeah.
All right. Cody Kopp out in front on the one Red Bull KTM, and I just now noticed he doesn't have the seat hump out there on this time. He was using it to get up on top of so he could get lower and have a place for his elbow, is what Kristen Beat reported for us, and now he's taken that off. And here comes Sadoff, tracked down the leader, made the pass.
Look at that hair
Man, that is
flowing on
some
that
long
dude.
hair.
How about that?
It's black and white. It's a long time ago.
Easy. Not that long ago.
Okay,
Not
all
longer
right.
than I'd like to admit.
Man, you look like you're a skiing racer, a slalom skier racer.
I was racing gates there at Kirkwood. I was probably 16 years older.
How far away is that from here?
2 hours.
Okay.
What the hell? I got to show
That's
Tree.
crazy.
Look at that tree.
Yeah, look, Tree. A celebrity beside us. Uh-oh, Cody Kopp off the pace a little bit. What's he doing? Did he pull off, or is he... Nope, there he is. Okay, it looked like he was way off the pace right there. Maybe he just wanted to get away from the 88 of Sadoff.
When's it going to happen for Chase?
Could be today.
It sure could.
The Turner Hondas look very strong today, but you can't count out the 21 of Trevor Bruner. He's won
No.
here 3 times in a row.
He's got to figure it out. Tom Drain to the top of the board, 38,282.
On a Honda and twice on the Estenson Yamaha.
How about Drain doing it instead of Bruner here?
You know, it's good. He's a little bitty guy. I think 105 pounds soaking wet. So that's definitely
An advantage,
a
right?
huge advantage. Yeah, but you still have to go out there and ride the motorcycle. But, you know, he was fast right out of the box last year when he first made his appearance over here. Did good at Lima and had some quick times going at Springfield before we got rained out.
You know who Tom reminds me of when you say that, and I remember him talking about that very thing. Legendary flat tracker, legendary motorcycle racer from right down the road
Jimbo?
in Matosa, Jimmy Felice.
Yeah, there you go.
Man, that guy could get after it, couldn't he?
He definitely could.
I remember Jimmy telling me once that every pound could make the difference of 7 horsepower on a motorcycle.
You know,
something like that.
Breyer would tell me that he would start dropping weight before the miles, and Breyer's skinny enough already.
Yeah, he's not. Breyer's very tall, but he's not heavy.
Right. But he would start dropping weight before the miles. He said, with this big KTM, maybe I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Not if you're running a 37.8, whatever he ran.
Yep. He was at a 37.8.
You might need a little weight
He was
to
at
stick it on that rear end.
37.7 before when I wrote it down because you told me to, and Ben Loud took that top spot
Aren't you
away.
glad you didn't get it tattooed on it?
I might later. Look, it looks like I got a tattoo. How did that get there?
I don't know. It
Man.
wasn't me that told you.
Mm-hmm. Here comes Michelin on the 13, making his way towards the front, getting by Cody Kopp going into turn 3, using that double draft pass.
Max Whale back there on the 18, but Max needs one, doesn't he?
Yeah, he needs to get on top of the box. Some riders still looking for their first win, and some riders are still looking for their first win of the 2023 season. Should we call it right now a first-time winner? Or what do you think? Too early?
In
this
450s?
Class? Yes, in the singles.
I like that idea. I like it.
It could be a couple of different riders.
Could be Drain. You mean first time for the year or first time ever?
First time ever. You got Sadoff up there. Drain is up there. Ott up there.
Ott's in there. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's just riders in this first group.
I think it could be easily Drain or Sadoff.
Chad Coase is looking really good.
He definitely is.
49. He's in group number 2. His teammate is out there. Ott is in this group. On the 19th, first impression, Husqvarna. There's the checkered flag coming out. They fan out going into turn number 1.
Drain down to 38.
Sharp.
002.
I'm going to wait on this one to write it down.
You're not going to write it in?
Not yet. Not yet. Look at that. Max is up there in the loose stuff, just twisting the throttle. That's fun. You know, when it doesn't matter, get off the groove and just let the back end step out just a little bit.
Play around.
It's like drifting. You know, the cars sliding around out there in parking lots or on snow. That's how I learned how to drive. Graham took me to a parking lot in Sioux Falls, the arena parking lot, and let me drive in the snow and get to do donuts.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. That's just a youngster.
Yeah.
That's how you learn. If you can learn how to control the slide. That's right. There's Shayna texter-bauman, the 52, looking for her to make her way towards the front.
She could use one tonight.
She has won here 4 times, Ralph.
I know. That's why I'm saying she could really use one here tonight. She's got to be chomping at the bit to get out there and get this one going.
She hasn't been in singles class for a little while, so it's good to have her back, and she's got to feel right at home on this 450. But it's a new team, new motorcycle, and they're learning
they sure
every
don't
time
act
they
like
go.
It, though, do they?
No, neither her or her husband.
This whole organization, the way they've come together as quickly as they have, as we've talked about numerous times throughout the year, 43 days from Rick Ware saying, yeah, let's do this, to getting on track at Daytona.
Looks like nobody wants to get going right here.
Yeah, everybody's kind of...
And that's what Brian Smith usually does, but the 91, Justin Jones, he took off. Travis Pettin was really quick earlier, just a few moments ago on the 82. There's the 52, Shayna texter-bauman. '51, Cole Zabala, the big R Racing Honda. He's got a teammate this weekend, the 24 right behind him. That's Hunter Bauer. It looks like they probably planned that.
Hey, did you have to spend any time getting yourself mentally prepared to race a mile? Unlike racing a short track or a TT, for example, or a half mile.
You just have to think about things a little bit different. You know, think about
Did you prep differently during the week?
No. You practice, you don't have a mile track to go practice on. You usually
no, but did you mentally, you know what I mean? Because it's a whole, not only is it a different strategy game, but there's got to be a level of nervousness because the intensity of the game ramps up because the thrill, the danger,
right.
all that is higher.
You really look forward to it, though. I mean, like, going to a mile track, I didn't get to race any as an amateur, so my first pro race on a mile was my first time on a mile, and that's different. That's a whole different feeling.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, and like when I raced out here for the first time at Sacramento, it was on the amateur the day after a national, and that was a lot of fun, on a 600, and it was a 600cc Rotax, and man, it is so fast. And then I got to race several times on the 883s and later on in the super tracker class, and I just really look forward to it because the speed is amazing, and it's adrenaline. I mean, it doesn't matter, if you're first or last, going out of here going this fast, doing things that humans aren't really meant to do, I guess, on a motorcycle. Shouldn't be doing. Yeah, it's exciting, but I don't think I approached it any different during the week. Bruce Evans off the pace just a little bit on that 26. It looks like maybe he pulled off, got out of the way. He's deep in the field. There's the 52 going across the start-finish line. Shayna texter-bauman clocks in at 15th, quick so far. Bruce Evans, just as I said, he was off the pace. He's up to 9th, so I think he just pulled out and let people get out of the way. Now he's tucked in right behind Shayna Texter on the 52, Shayna texter-bauman. Travis Pettin jumps up to 2nd. The 82 is the fastest bike on the racetrack once again.
Inside here.
Bruce Evans shifting. Looked like he downshifted twice right there, Ralph.
Well, let's see if this helps Shayna, too, because now she'll have the opportunity to take advantage of that draft.
Man, can they be downshifting twice? I don't know.
Twice would seem pretty extreme.
It would really, really, really slow the bike down, maybe too much. Shayna uses that draft pass to start finish line. She just downshifted once.
2 to 14th.
That definitely helped her. Now she's got the 26 right behind.
I was wondering about that because you talk to some racers, and when they're going to the big speedways, you know, like I was recently talking with Will Power about going to Indianapolis for the month of May, and he said doesn't sleep well at all.
Well,
the entire month he's there because you're so on the edge, and you know the intensity is so high.
And that's the biggest race of their career.
Well, but it's not
and
just that.
year.
He's talking about the thrill and the intensity of going into turn 1 at 240 miles an hour and just turning in. You know, same basic thing here. You know, it's crazy to go 140 miles an hour down the front straightaway and sit up and push that thing into the corner.
It's incredible. There's no other feeling like it.
And standing on the inside of the corner and watching that happen on a mile dirt track is eye-opening, boy. I agree with you. Brad Jones, our producer, said that's what got me hooked. It got us all hooked. Yeah. That's the only reason why I wish they still had the fencing on the inside, because you can't go down there anymore. But
that's
what right on the fence like you used to be able to.
When I tell people about speeds and what track to go to, you know, my go-to is Springfield because you can still go in the infield, and I wanted to go stand inside turn 1 as close to the guardrail as you can with, you know, according with the rules of the fence and stuff like that.
Or your courage will allow you to.
Yeah, or stand inside turn number 3 and just watch how fast they go by, still on the gas, still going into the corner. It's amazing. So
it really is.
Tom Drain, top spot still. Travis Pett was in that last one.
That one down in ink.
Well, there's one more group to go. Should I write it down or you want me to wait?
I think you should write it.
All right. Tom Drain, the top spot on the Estenson Yamaha. His teammate is 3rd right now, Trevor Bruner. 2nd is the 82, Travis Pett, and he was our Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award winner last round. Can he do it 2 weeks in a row? Extra $500.
How big would it be for Tom Drain to win that here?
It would be huge for him.
Big.
Yeah, and he's just getting going. It looks like one of the riders stopped over there to talk to Brian Smith. That's Zabala maybe on the Big R Racing Honda, maybe talking about the racetrack a little bit. I'm not sure. A little bit of a bump when they come off the racetrack and go onto the racetrack. And again, they're pitting outside turn 4. There's some of the big rigs are right there on that straightaway. Some of the rest of them are back behind the grandstand. So when that pit area opens up in just a little bit, you folks are more than welcome to go in there from 5:45 to 6:35. That's for free. But if you want to upgrade, $40 right now. That's only 2 $20 bills.
That's it.
You can be in the pits and see what's going on up close. The taco truck's down there, got the lights going on. Have you been down there yet?
No, I have not.
Well, we ate in the Mission Food Tent, but man, I might have stopped by there in just a second. Group 3 rolling onto the racetrack. Final group of our first round of qualifying for the Parts Unlimited AMT Singles sponsored by Kicker. Our friends with Kicker are here. They're down there towards turn number 1. Lauren's here if you want to stop by and see the latest.
There's a lot of cool stuff to check out.
Man, there sure is. You got a T-shirt. What else did you get down there? The official T-shirt.
I got a T-shirt for me and for my son Lucas, and a hoodie for myself. And then went over to the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame and got a couple of hoodies for one for my wife and one for my son.
What did Olivia get for her birthday?
Well, she wanted to go to Disneyland.
So she did that.
We did that.
Okay, all right.
And had a great time.
Make sure she's taken care of on her birthday.
Oh, trust me, she's all good.
And she gets ice cream later. This is Group 3.
We had the whole gang sing happy birthday tour.
We did.
Me. Thanks to you.
You're welcome. 155, Olin Kistler. 55 is Tyler Raggio. 117, Landon Smith. 140 is Blake Ash.
Uncle Scotty looking out for
There you go. 216, Declan Bender. 106, Reese Podorf. 66, it's Freight Train, Logan McGrain. He's not the kid anymore.
One.
He's getting to be an
Freight
adult.
Train,
He's got some scruff on his face. 233, Christian Spurgeon. And the 121, Jacob Cassio. Last group, AFT Singles, first round of qualifying coming to a close. There's Kistler on the 155. He's made one main event this season, I believe.
Did you get your nickname for Trent yet that you're happy with?
No, because I checked with him today.
Oh.
Mike Turner liked the Terminator. Trent Lowe does not. Okay. So I said the Lowrider, L-O-W-E, Lowrider.
He didn't like that.
He didn't like that one either.
That sounds slow.
Well, we got Lowrider. Is that Dale Blaney? What is?
Oh, no, Dale was
I thought he was Lowrider.
No, it wasn't Lowrider. I'll get that. Hey.
All right. Somebody will message us, I'm sure.
I'll come up with that.
233, Christian Spurgeon right there. Lodi, California native. I swear he was the lowrider.
I gotta see.
Well, there was a World of Outlaws sprint car driver nicknamed the Lowrider. Pretty sure. There's Kistler on the 155. He's from out here in the Pacific Northwest. We're going to Castle Rock, Washington, Saturday, August the 12th for the 65th anniversary of that race. Tickets are available at sdi-racing.com. It'll be the last trip out here to the West Coast. 216, Declan Venner goes up the inside of the 117. Landon Smith, and Smith is up to 17th.
He was a low rider. You're right.
All right, you're welcome. Uh-oh, Spurgeon slips off the groove. I wonder who gave him that nickname.
Probably Johnny Gibson, who
he's been doing
does
the
all the World of Outlaws
forever.
He comes up with most of the nicknames for those guys. That's Tom Carnegie.
Yeah.
He's a legendary announcer at Indianapolis, coming up with the new track record.
Yeah, Brad Jones, who's a football player, went to Penn State. He's never went to
Played
any
under Joe Paterno.
dirt track races when he was a kid. Now he's hooked. He doesn't miss one. He just did an awesome special on another network for the World of Outlaws. Man, that was a heck of a show.
Yeah. It's great. I mean, how can you not love dirt track racing? Whether it's 2 or 4 wheels. I mean,
exactly.
It's just fantastic.
Yeah, the dirt track, the benefit that like NASCAR, IndyCar, pavement stays the same. It'll go through some changes, but not like what happens on a dirt track.
No. You get into that for other reasons, right? There's other things that attract you to other forms of motorsport.
Look at Declan Bender track down the leader and goes blasting past him on that 216.
And I always encourage people to check out all forms of motorsport because for that very reason, you might like dirt track and not like drag racing. Or you might go to a drag race and the smell of nitro gets in your blood and you decide you like that and not NASCAR. And that's all fine.
Right.
It's all racing. It's all good. And don't not allow yourself to experience other forms of it. You might be surprised at what else you like out there.
Wow, Reese Podorf right
Did you
there.
see that
Yeah,
head
he let off and then the head shake right there and he was looking back and McGrain was right there behind him as they came to that checkered flag. I believe they still look like they're still up to full speed, but I think that was the checkered flag as Reese Podorf took a look over his shoulder. And, you know, they teach you not to ever look back.
Yeah.
And it's hard not to because you want to know who's running out there with you. You know, wait until you slow down a little bit. But I'm going to write it down now, Ralph. Is that okay?
I think it's safe.
Okay. 38.002. Watch the left. Right on the left. Really chops the throttle and got in that little bit of a bump, and he's looking over the shoulder, still head shaking. No problem. No big deal. The 120 mile an hour.
I have found, Scotty, that no matter what form of motorsport I'm at, I'm having a good time because racers are racers no matter what they're racing.
Exactly. It's just what
technology might be different, the type of machinery might be different, but the attitude and the approach of the racers is always the same.
And don't forget, you know, it all starts at the local level. Like, you know, like last night I went to the Lodi Cycle Bowl. You went to right down the road.
The Old Country Fairgrounds in Auburn.
Exactly. So, you know, there's other types. You know, this is the best of the best with American Flat Track. You know, but you got to get there somehow. So you got to start somewhere at the local level and work your way up to something like this.
Yeah, but even, I mean, I can remember going to the swamps for swamp buggy racing down in Naples, Florida,
crazy.
back in the TNN days. And those guys were as focused and driven and into their form of motorsport as anybody else I'd ever met.
Exactly.
And they were spending every bit the same amount of money too, you know?
Do you think that has, you know, like when somebody gets hooked in flat track, it seems like it stays in the family. Do you think swamp buggy is the same way?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. There was all kinds of families involved in it, and you'd have dad racing in one category and brother and sister racing in another category, and husbands and wives, and oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's just what you're raised with and what you're accustomed to, and what, you know, everybody on my dad's side of the family, everybody knows and talks about flat track. My mom's side of the family could care less.
Yeah,
but that's fine. That's what, you know, apples and oranges. That's what makes the world go round. But if you're a race fan, I think just like you said, go experience, you know, whatever you like. Yeah, exactly.
And don't take what you see on TV for the gospel of what it is, because television is great, but it's two-dimensional.
Right.
Racing is meant to be experienced in person, and then you become a fan of it, you learn it, you understand it, then you can enjoy it on television, right, because you know more of what's going on. but you got to go feel it. You got to go smell it. You got to be overtaken with all your senses. That's why you can't watch drag racing on TV. You have to go experience Nitro in person.
You know, the biggest thing for me, too, is like when you're at a mile racetrack, if you can just walk up to that front straightaway fence or wall, get up there as close as you can, when they go by you, you can feel it when they go by. And if you look straight ahead, it's just a blur when they go past you. That's how fast they're going. And like you said, TV is amazing, but it can't catch everything.
No, it won't grasp the pure sense overload that you get by going and experiencing it live.
For you folks that are here with us, we have one more round of qualifying for both classes, and the open paddock area is 5:45 till 6:35. At 6:45, we have opening ceremonies. It'll be pretty short and sweet and to the point, and then we get started with our racing action at 7 p.m. For heat races, we have a last chance qualifier for the singles. Then we have 2 challenge races, and then our 2 main events. So it's a stacked night.
Scotty, that's the American River right there.
Okay.
Coming down from Lake Tahoe.
Mm-hmm.
And
all the melted snow.
800 inches of snow this year.
Is that record? Tahoe. Is that a record?
Oh, yeah. And they're literally going to be racing at Palisades, skiing at Palisades. Tahoe used to be known as Squaw Valley back when they had the Olympics there, all the way up until about 2 years ago. Now it's called Palisades Tahoe, where Alpine Meadows and everything is at. They're going to ski there through July 4th weekend.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
You know, I was talking to the flagman last night, and he was just riding a snowmobile 2 weeks ago, and it's incredible.
Now, that river flows down from Lake Tahoe into Folsom Lake. Remember Johnny Cash, Folsom?
Yep, Folsom County Prison.
Yep, that's right there. And then it comes down through here. It meets down at Old Sacramento.
Okay.
But the Sacramento River that comes from up around Chico, that way down, they meet right there at Old Sacramento, which is just east or west of here, and they connect with the Delta. And the Delta flows all the way out to San Francisco Bay. And on the way between here and on the west side of Sacramento, just over the bridge, where the old West Capitol Raceway used to be, the famous dirt track over there, there's actually a port of Sacramento.
Wow.
And big ocean-sized freight ships can come all the way up the Delta to the port of Sacramento, and all that incredible fruit, grain, and vegetables that's grown up and down this incredibly fertile valley gets loaded up there and goes out around the world from the port of Sacramento.
Incredible.
Yeah. But you would never think, as landlocked as we are all the way up here in the center of the valley, that you'd have a port sitting here. But we've literally had whales and other massive sea life come up the Delta and get into Sacramento because they get lost.
Well, last year we went on a Super 73 bicycle ride, and we started out in old downtown and right by the river. And I'm pretty sure there were seals or sea lions or something
very well have been.
Just laying out there suntanning. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah, so they'll come up the Delta, and then they got to go out there and try to turn them around and herd them back down the Delta back to the bay.
So it's a warm one out here today, not as warm as last time we were here.
All the way off in that direction, you're looking east right there.
Okay.
That's where the Sierra Nevada mountain range is. You can see
just a little
beige out there. That's the foothills. And then the Sierras are just above that.
How far away from this racetrack did you grow up?
Literally straight down Arden Way, which runs, we were just looking in the direction of the house I grew up in, literally 5 miles at max, straight down Arden Way to the American River.
How many times do you think you've been to this track? 100?
Man, a ton, yeah. I can't even begin to count. I saw my very first concert here. Of course, the state fair is held here every year. Horse races here with my parents. I mean, the mile twice a year with the bikes.
For a long time.
God, I couldn't even begin to count how many races I've seen or how much my life revolved around activity that happened here.
Are there any
it's a
other
special place for me?
Car tracks close by here? I mean, I know we've talked about
we were just talking about West Capitol Raceway.
Right.
That was a legendary facility. You start talking about people like Jimmy Sills and all the legendary Johnny Anderson, all the greats that started racing around here, the Northern California sprint car drivers.
Look at the different color of dirt down the back straightaway. That's not making sense to me. Why
be in patches like that?
Yeah,
it should be one long
stretch of rubber. But it looks like they're maybe going up and down a little bit. We'll have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, it's taking rubber in different spots on that back straightaway.
It's interesting. Of course, there was the old Fairgrounds Mile prior to this one. This is the second one that they raced at all the way up until through 1970. Then they had a very tragic incident there, and unfortunately I was there that day when they ran super modifieds and sprint cars together on the track, and it didn't work very well. We lost 3 people that afternoon.
So a lot of history has been made out here. Scotty Parker is the winningest rider at the Sacramento Mile with 13 wins. Chris Carr has 9. Brian Smith, who's in attendance, he has 7. Bubba Schobert, a good friend, has 5. Jared Meese has 4. And in the singles class, Shayna texter-bauman has 4, and Trevor Bruner has 3. So anybody can put their name on this list.
Mm-hmm.
What I've also noticed, too, looking through the history books, it seems like once you figure it out, once you win a race, it makes it easier, and you tend to win several in a row.
Yeah, you get a feel for it, and I think also you get that positive vibe, right? It's like, okay, I can win here. I can do it again, and you feel good showing up there, and so you go into it with all the positive vibe and momentum behind you, right?
You sure do. Carr won several back-to-back. Parker did the same thing.
Smitty sure owned this place for a while, didn't he?
He had it for quite a while. Jared Meese, again, broke up the string. Actually, he started winning after Brian Smith's last win here was in 2017, but then Meese took over in 18, 19, and 2 times in 21. Of course, Dallas Daniels took the win last year.
And I'll tell you what, Brian's in race shape.
He is.
You put him on a bike tonight, I might be putting my money on him.
Yeah, you can't count him out, that's for sure. He's always fast on the mile. So there are a lot of vendors down there. Please stop by and check out what's going on. We talked about Kicker Performance Audio's there. The event T-shirts have a booth out in front of the grandstands. They also have the booth set up just underneath the grandstands.
Got mine.
Got mine as well. Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is there. The Adaptive Riders are down there. They'll be part of that Dick Mann Memorial Championship next weekend, May 19th through the 21st at the Lodi Cycle Bowl. Again, that's 3 days of racing, swap meet, bike show, and more. Gates on Friday at 2, gates on Saturday and Sunday at 9 a.m. And they're racing out here again tomorrow morning. Again, I would recommend getting out here at 9 if you want to see all the action.
I don't know what the exact measurement is, but it sure looks like the front straightaway is longer than the back stretch, doesn't it?
It kind of does, yeah.
And the way they run it, because they carry the corner out further to the wall here on the back stretch, coming out of 2 and then going into 3. So it looks like there's downtown Sacramento off to the west.
And the lake or the pond or whatever you want to call it in the middle looks like it's actually a little bit bigger. They've had a lot of rain out here, unusual rain the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. All winter.
And that is part of the reason why they're pitting not in the infield. This is the first time I've ever remember coming here when they didn't pit right in the center of the racetrack.
Me too, yeah. So whether it was cars or bikes.
In the open paddock area, 5:45 until 6:35. If you want to go in the pits early, you can spend $40. You can get in the pits early. You can do that right here.
There's a big fountain right there that they can run.
Maybe they'll light the candles on that.
They could.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I like that.
We should work on that. There's the big Law Tiger right in the center of turns 1 and 2. He's growling at us.
You still didn't watch Caddyshack, right? So my whole pool pond thing doesn't work for you, right?
I haven't watched Caddyshack since we talked about it. When have I had time to do that, Ralph?
Oh, I don't know. Every night.
Yep, I hear motorcycles back on the racetrack. It is our final round of qualifying here at the Cal Expo, Sacramento, California. For the longest time, I don't think I remembered that this was the capital of California. I never would have thought that because it's not one of the largest cities. I would have thought down south. I don't know, for some reason, L.A. or something.
Yeah, no, this has always been the capital city.
Crazy.
Of course, it was known for, with the gold rush, they would find the gold up in the foothills, and then you brought it here to Sutter's Fort, which is just west of where we are right now, down in downtown, and that's where you would get your gold weighed and
man! Sorry, the 37 just about came off the motorcycle right there, coming off the turn 4. Ready to call him out of the corner mile. So you get your gold weighed.
You find your gold, gold panning up in the foothills. Yep. And you bring it down here to get your money for it, whatever you were going to buy. So I think that's probably all part of why it became
the
capital city. And, of course, Sutter's Fort is where the Donner Party was trying to get to, and they came up short.
To get the rich people?
No, just to
move this way.
On the trip west.
Okay.
And they got snowed in what is now known as Donner Lake, just west of Lake Tahoe, and they lost their lives up there and wiped out the whole party.
Okay, I got you. I was thinking you were talking about somebody else. I got you what you're saying now. Okay. Interesting. Super Twins on the racetrack. Meese goes to the top spot. Dallas goes to the top spot. 37.736, and one of them slips off the groove. It looks like the 95's going wide in turns 1 and 2. They'll get back in line.
So does Breyer take the #1 spot back?
Yeah, or will somebody else do it? You know, right now our fast qualifier is Ben Louth, a 37.654. He's in Group 2.
Oh, one down.
Rider down into the air fence.
Is that Breyer?
I believe it is. It is. Breyer Bauman down. He's up and on his feet. He reached down and hit the kill button. Now he'll pick that bike up.
That's no easy feat.
Red flag is out. The 3 bike going down from Salinas, California. He's kicking his foot peg down. Good news is he's up and appears to be okay. Airbag suit, I'm sure, deployed. And that happens in an instant. If that airbag suit, you know, senses anything uncharacteristic, it will deploy before they even get off the bike several times.
It's such an incredible development in safety. It really is. I mean, it's not going to completely protect you, but boy, is it going to help.
It definitely will absorb a bunch of it. So there's Michelle she's checking with Dale Jones, one of our tech officials, making sure that Breyer's all right and seeing what the next plan of action is, if he's going to get a ride back or a push back, or he's trying to climb on board. Looks like he's trying to see if he can start the thing. He got it started.
It's a home event for Breyer, right?
Yeah.
In Bronson. I mean, it's as close to Salinas as you're going to get for an American flat track event.
Is there something in the water in Salinas?
There's a lot of good racers out of Salinas. You know who else is from that area? It was Ernie Irvin.
There you go. Ricky Graham.
Ricky Graham, of course, yeah.
So Breyer, the bike able to ride back, but see if he's done in this session. He'll have to rely on his time from the first round, or if he's going to try to keep going. It's hard to decide if you want to keep going or not. He looks like he's going to pull up to Michelle and see what they're going to do.
Got to get it checked at least, right?
He's going back off the racetrack, so I think he's going to go ahead and park it and let them get to work on the primary bike.
Dave.
Yeah, they'll go ahead and take it back to the hot box. They'll go in their pit area. Like it looks like they're behind the grandstands. There goes Shayna, texter-bauman, Breyer's
They're literally
wife.
behind our truck.
Yeah,
right
behind us here. Yeah. I didn't see what happened exactly, but he was
looked like he just laid it down.
4th quick in this one. There's the younger brother right there. That's Bronson, the fast track racing KTM. Using the leaf blower right there to keep the air going through the radiator, because when they're not going, there's no fan to suck the air, and when the engine's not running, it is off as he's waving to.
Is he waving to #1?
Yep, waving to #1 cameraman.
Here's the shot.
Yep.
I could be leaf blower guy.
You would like to do that?
I could do that.
Oh, okay.
I'm not saying I'd like to do that.
That's one of the jobs you would like to do?
That's one of the jobs I could do.
But just don't let you turn the wrenches
don't let me turn a
on
wrench.
the bike.
No.
Okay, all right.
But if you need me to hold a leaf blower, I could do that. I've been a mud scraper in sprint car racing. I've done that.
That's fun, too.
I can handle that.
They usually spray them down with something before they go out to make it easier to knock the mud off.
Yeah.
Dallas Daniels right there. They said just fire them up. Looks like they stick the starter shaft in the side of the crank.
I could do the sign board if you need a sign board.
You could use this. You could start a bike. You
I could probably do that. I would like to do that.
Back in the day, you have to push start them.
Yeah, I've helped push start a sprint car before. I've done
Really?
For Jimmy Sills, yeah.
That's cool. I've never done that.
That was fun up at Chico.
You've actually driven a sprint car. That makes me jealous.
It should, but you need to do that. And I say that not in a bragging way. I say that because I know you would appreciate it.
Something you need to do, yeah.
And I know that it would just be a thrill that you would never forget, like it was for me.
And I'd probably start racing sprint cars.
Probably.
There goes Meese at the very back of the pack, a la Brian Smith.
Does he work his way through the front of these guys?
I don't think so.
I
think he's a little bit too far to make his way all the way through in just a quick 5-lap session.
That Davis Fisher back there. If he can get hooked up with Davis, that would be a good tow.
That could be a lethal combination.
Yes,
they could work their way up there.
That could be a good tow.
Bronson's out in front, and he's got
Brandon Robinson there with him. That would be a good tow as well.
Brandon was faster earlier in the first round of practice. He had the quick time. They're still struggling with that little bit of a bump right there coming off of Fort, and right there it looked like it was hard to see that bump. So
you got JD, Johnny Lewis, and Dallas Daniels all running together.
Those guys are really good friends. Johnny Lewis spent a lot of time training and helping out Dallas Daniels when he was a little bit younger. Bronson's leading the freight train. He's 3rd quick so far in this round, 37.795 for the 37. Goes in a little bit wider than the 44. Keeps it on the groove. The 44 right there in tow. Robinson currently 6th in this round. See, it's hard. It looked like that little hole or bump kind of blended in now. It was a different color.
Well, and the sun is going to set to the west, which is off the backside of turn number 4.
Wow.
Oh, look at Jared Meese, 37.419. So it must be working.
That is 2 tenths faster than Ben Lau in the first round, and he's back there. He got by Van der Kooi. Now
he's still with Fisher because Fisher's right in front of him.
Yeah, so they're creating a big bubble, and he can get right in there.
Big hole there.
Yep. So Meese now with the fastest lap of the weekend so far, a 37.419.
I think it's about to get quicker.
Yeah, this should be a very fast lap.
Look how quick he's catching Davis. It's going to get quicker. Here it comes. To the line. No.
37.478, so he must not have had a good turn 1 and 2, but he had an excellent turn 3 and 4.
Did.
And that's what you have to do, put it together on both ends. Everybody wants to get that Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award, $500, and the pole position on Heat Race number 1.
He's swinging out here to the inside.
He got by the 10
He's going to clear both
and the
Lewis
67.
and Fisher.
Yep, and there goes Fisher off the groove.
Yep.
Hang on to it, Davis.
So now Jared is right behind Dallas Daniels. That's got to be a pretty good hole.
That is impressive right there.
That's got to look pretty good on the clock. Let's see what it does here.
This should be really fast.
Not yet. Didn't move yet.
Yep, there it goes. 37.378.
Wow.
For the one bike.
Wow.
The Indian. Fisher's up there second with the 37.645, but it's Meese with the top spot now.
Meese inside of Beach.
Listen to the tires squawking going in the corner. First time I heard that today. He is coming right through the pack. You said he was going to do it. I didn't think he could. I think he had time.
I think he wanted to see if he could do it because this teaches him a lot about what he knows he's got going into the race.
This could be really quick, too. Nope, 37.9 on that lap, and the tires are squawking. They're using the rubber going into the corners.
That's going to be a huge confidence booster for Jared when he goes back to the truck now. To know that he could do that.
I wasn't laughing at you. Johnny Lewis was goon riding through turns 1 and 2 right there, having some fun. Bronson looked pretty salty out there. Led every lap at 37.795 was his quickest lap, but Jared Meese at 37.378, quickest we have seen this entire day. For the #1 rider in the country, 4-time winner of the Sacramento Mile, and one of his sponsors is the promoter of this race. He started with SDI Insulation. SDI Racing is the promoter of this race and the Castle Rock TT coming up in August.
Man, what a huge event that was this past year, right?
It was packed. That's the fullest I've ever seen that place.
And we got to go see Tree's hometown up there.
We got to see some of his relatives. Yeah, we saw all of his relatives.
That was amazing.
Yep.
Looking forward to that again. Family outing.
That was group #1. Group #2 is up next. Ben Lau was quickest in the first round. Can he back that up? Can he go faster? Meese was at the back and had all the big air bubble in front of him and used it to his advantage. The 36 and the 25 going out front again.
That 378 going down in ink. That's got to be tempting.
I'll write it down.
I think you have to.
Just so maybe it'll change.
378. Question from the front of the truck coming in. Go ahead, caller.
Caller? Don't be shy now.
So front of the truck wants to know, Scotty, since you've done both, how different is it qualifying on a mile to racing on a mile?
Ooh, it's hard. It's very hard to push yourself. I don't think I ever qualified that well because we had like scratch sheets and stuff like that, which were different. So these guys are out here and they're racing against the clock. So that's the hard part. I would, again, Kristen Beat and I talked about it, and you and I talked about it a few minutes ago. Find somebody out there that you work well together. It seemed like the 25 and 36 worked very well in that first round of qualifying, but it's hard because you're just out there riding. You're not racing, and to get a different mindset to go out there and race against the track.
Well, the thing about racing on a mile to me is it's not always about the speed. It's the strategy, that chess game.
Right.
A chess match at 140 miles an hour, right?
Yep.
So mentally, racing the mile is every bit as tiring and stressful as anything else, right?
Did you see how fast and how much he draft passed right there, the 25? Carlisle on the 36.
Up to 12th.
Moves up to 12th, and they're just getting up to speed. 36 and the 25 again working together. Ryan Wells was right there with them for just a moment. When they just drafted together down that front straightaway, they kind of broke away from him a little bit.
Boy, that hole going into 3 and the big kicker.
Here is the draft. Watch the 36. He's doing exactly right. Waits till the last second to pull out. He gets so much speed, but this time he keeps it down there on the groove. That's exactly what you have to do. And that will pull the 25 into the corner with him as well.
Is there a point of no return on that when you're closing on a guy?
Yeah, you have to pull out and go around him, because if not, you'll run right into that back tire. So you have to time it just right. Carlisle's pulling away from the 25 now, the 36. He's up to 7th quick here in this round. Ben Lau, if he can sniff the draft of the 36 and get back up there, but looks like Colby's putting in some consistent laps this time.
Colby's looking really quick. He looks very strong out here on his own.
And Corey Texter won on that very motorcycle here before in the production twins class. So they've got the setup figured out. I mean, of course, they've made changes. It looks like it's got some different body work on the motorcycle, and G&G Racing based out of California. It's a little extra motivation to do well.
That's another guy that could get right back on the bike and go right to the front again. Corey.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He's in excellent shape. His son raced some Moto America last weekend. Yeah, Sharkbait. Oh, Missile Michael Hill on the infield of the racetrack off the pace, and I believe he's on his backup motorcycle.
That's a great racing nickname, Sharkbait.
Yeah, I don't know where that one came from. I'm not going to take credit for it.
Right up there with Stingray Rob.
That's a good one. I've never heard that one.
IndyCar driver.
Yeah. Still, my favorite, though, is the human highlight reel, Rusty Rogers.
Yeah, Rusty was good.
Those wreckers or checkers for him.
I still like Beaver Dragon, which was a real name, wasn't it? It was
yeah. That's incredible. Colby looks really strong today.
He sure does.
Ben Lau right there as well. Got his career best finish in Arizona earlier this season. Checkered flag is out for Carlisle. He's up there in the 7th spot. Carlisle out in front, though, goes up to 5th on that last lap with a 37.8 flat. 37.8 for Carlisle, moves all the way up to 5th. And that was it for Super Twins qualifying. That means Jared Meese will be your fast qualifier. You'll pick up the Pronto Parts Plus Pole Award, an extra $500. So he'll be part of opening ceremonies in a little bit. Next, we'll have 3 groups of our Parts Unlimited AFT singles sponsored by Kicker. And then after that, we will have the open paddock area. Again, the pits are just down the front straightaway towards turn 4 and behind the grandstands. If you want to go check that out, that's coming up as soon as qualifying is all done. Colby Carlisle from Canandaigua, New York, upstate New York. Beautiful country up there by his neck of the woods. And the singles riders are lined up. Group number 1. Coming out according to their point standing coming into today. 1/3 of the way through the 2023 season. Cody Kopp will lead him out on the 1. Dalton Gautier's on the 79. Max Whale, number 18. Chase Sadoff is the 88. Trevor Bruner, the 3-time winner here at Sacramento, is on the 21 Yamaha. 13 Morgan Mishler. 48 Trent Lowe. 59 is Tom Drain from Australia. And the 19 is James Ott. Qualifying round 1, 38.002 for the 59 of Tom Drain. That is the time to beat. Bike's going through the gearbox. Looks like Cody's taking his time getting up to speed. Maybe he's going to go out there and get with his teammate. No, he's going to get out of the way and let some of these other guys go by. See if he'll tuck in behind Bruner, and he does. So the 1 bike tucks in behind the 21. Down the back chute, 79, Dalton Gautier goes out front. He's won here before in the production twins class on the Harley-Davidson. There's a quick time from the first round. The bomber, Tom Drain. .13 just ahead of him. Mishler, here's a big group of riders at the front. 5 riders, Gautier, Maxwell in the 18. A little bit of dust coming up. 2 Estenson Yamahas out there. Only 1 podium finish so far for the Estenson Yamahas in the singles class. That was Bruner at the season opener. Bruner goes by. Everybody going into turn number 1 as the birds fly up just in front of them. Probably not used to the motorcycles out here. Only happens once a year. Bruner leads well. Gautier is there. Here they come. The speed shot. Bruner goes to the top spot, 3:8.647. So they're about, now Tom Drain to the top spot, 3:8.252. Trent Lowe comes with a 3:8.286. They're getting faster every lap. Bruner's in the lead on the racetrack, but it's Tom Drain quickest out there. The 59, the 2 Estenson Yamahas are both on the track, first and third, respectively. I think Cody Kopp wanted to go back there and see if he could pass anybody and maybe work on some drafting. It definitely worked out for the 59 bike. He's coming through the field. He's leading that second group, and he's got the quick time, 3:8.252. That time a little bit slower at 3:8.404. Cody doesn't look as comfortable this time in this session right now. Keeps looking over his shoulder, maybe trying to figure out who he's going to work with. Look at this freight train down the back straightaway. They're all lined up. There's the one bike Kopp. Now behind him is Tom Drain. First round of qualifying, Tom Drain, 3:8.002. This round, Tom Drain's quick lap, a 3:8.252, the fastest out here in this second round. Ott comes up to third. James Ott, the Husqvarna First Impressions team, up to that third spot, 3:8.472. Looks like the singles are a little bit slower than the first round, where the Super Twins were faster in this last round. Yeah, so it's just flip-flopped. Bruner is out in front. He's back in 5th in this round. So just because you're leading out there on the racetrack doesn't mean you're the fastest.
Seeing Drain out front on that Yamaha, quick reminder that you can win a brand new Yamaha 450 this year and do some good in the process.
A 2023 YZF 450. It's out there. It's on display at the Back on Track booth. Tickets are only $25 for a very nice and expensive motorcycle.
Beautiful bike.
Yeah.
You want to get into maybe finding out about flat track racing yourself? It's a great way to get started. Go win a bike.
You want to leave it just like that, you can go
ride some moto, yeah.
Motocrossing, ride in the woods.
Just have some fun. You can also, they're going to have you can sign up to win any donation and putting your name in a hat. They're going to be giving away helmets. They've got one here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
From Helmet House, right?
And then they're going to be giving away one a week after this one.
Cody Kopp on that last lap moves up to 5th, but not quite good enough to take the top spot. Tom Drain, 3:8.115 on the last lap. The 59 caught those 5 leaders in front of him. They punched a big hole in the air, and he used that to his advantage. He goes to the top spot. So right now, he's fastest in the first round. He's fastest in round number 2 with 2 more groups to go here in qualifying.
One other thing you can do over there, Chris Carter's incredible book about the Honda 750.
Does he have some?
The book is here.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a few left, and if you buy one, he's making a donation off of every sale to Back on Track.
Do you have that book?
Not yet.
It is 500 pages. That's as big as they could make it, where the backing wouldn't come apart.
I can imagine.
And it's not a read that you have to read it all the way through. It's like I will skim through it and look at different chapters and look at the history of the RS 750. Reading's not my favorite subject, but I like looking at pictures.
Scratch and sniff's your favorite?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Scratch and sniff. It smells like an RS 750. I can smell it. Oh, man.
I remember watching those bikes right here.
Look at this.
Bubba,
These guys, nobody
Ricky.
wants to go out front. Justin Jones pulls out of the way. Terrence Santero, the 75. Yesterday was his birthday. He won the Lodi
I'm not
Cycle Bowl.
afraid. I'm going.
Hunter Bauer right behind him, the Canadian champ. Look, these guys are all lollygagging together. Guys and girl.
Is there a motorcycle racer you've never met that you would love to interview? Or sit down and chat with?
That I never met?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I know you met a lot of them, but you probably haven't met everybody. None of us have.
You know,
could be somebody from the history of the sport.
Man. I wish I had more time with Ricky Graham. I know I did talk to him. I have sat and Graham would cook him dinner every year we went to Sturgis. He would come hang out with us at Sturgis. But somebody I haven't got to sit down with, man. How about Black Bart Markell?
That's a good one.
You know,
that's a really good one.
I love hearing stories from other people about the way he rode and how he earned his name Black Bart and stuff like that. Just to hear his side of the story would have been great. Yeah, I think so. I know a lot of their family, Stacy the daughter and Kara the granddaughter, are friends of ours, and I would like to hear more of that story.
Yeah.
What about you? Motorcycle. Let's say
motorcycle. I think Mike Hale would be pretty cool.
How about,
because he did so much.
And let's throw Joe Leonard out there too.
Well, Joe Leonard is another great
because
one.
He not only
we're in Joe Leonard country.
He only he won motorcycle race, but then he goes off into car racing and has just a successful career racing four wheels.
IndyCar national champion twice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, Joe Leonard ran the Samsonite car. Remember the Samsonite car?
I always just remember him as number. I remember him as number 98. That's just me. When I think of 98, I think Joe Leonard.
Yeah. Yeah. Joe would have been great.
There's the 52. Shayna texter-bauman on the gas on her new ride.
Yeah, Tree was asking about him being a NorCal kid. Yeah, he was from down around San Jose, Santa Clara area.
Shayna got a little head shake right there, hitting that bump going into one.
We got Joe in our West Coast Stock Car Motorsports Hall of Fame.
That's incredible. You're going into another Hall of Fame here real
National
soon.
Sprint Car Hall of Fame coming up June 3rd, I get it. Yep.
There's a big non-wing race there at the
USAC
Knoxville
non-wing car is going to be running 2 nights,
Knoxville
Friday and
Speedway.
Saturday. Yeah, I'm super thrilled about it. I can't believe I got into the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame and the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. 2 years. Amazing. A lot of people out there right now saying you're not deserving, and I wouldn't necessarily argue with them, but I'll take it.
It's an honor.
Unbelievable.
So I'm getting reports from a text message from somebody that's not even here that Shayna blew up her motor in the first round of practice. I don't know if that was on social medias or what it was. There she is, Shayna texter-bauman, the 52. Currently 13th quick in this round. The fastest bike on the racetrack, once again, no surprise, is the 82 of Travis Pettin. He's up to 6th as Shayna slips off the groove.
Yeah, here it is on Instagram. From a blown engine to 4th place in only 2 practice runs.
There you go.
Great job again by that Rick Ware Racing organization, right?
Yeah, putting it all together.
That's why I said they haven't acted like a first-time team at all this year, have they?
You know who messaged me that? Fast Eddie.
Of course.
That's not what you call him, but.
Stud maker.
There you go. Tom Drain, fastest in the first round and this round, 38.115 in this round, 38.002 in the first round. There's Pettin on the 82 just sneaking by us. Shayna texter-bauman, 4-time winner at this race.
Well, you put yourself in some pretty rarefied air when you start stacking numbers like that, don't you?
That's incredible. It doesn't matter what class. If you can win at a racetrack 4 times, it's pretty impressive as the checkered flag is out.
Start thinking about the multiple winners here. You listed a bunch of them off earlier. That's pretty rarefied air.
Travis Pettin might mess around here and win a race here real soon. He keeps qualifying very well and just ends up with bad luck. And I think, part of it too is the tracks go through changes. And when you first, it's his second season as a pro rider, and you have to keep up with those changes. And maybe their notebook isn't quite as thick as some of the other riders that he's racing with. And keep up with what the track's doing. And that's the hardest thing. I struggle with that a lot when I was racing. You go out there and qualify well, do good in a heat race, and you don't want to change a thing. If you're feeling it, but then the track will change. The track will get faster at night. It'll cool off. You can run different air pressure, maybe change the gearing. And if you don't know, then you don't want to do it.
Not just that, but you bang on that door enough, eventually it's going to open, the opportunity's going to come through.
You're exactly right.
Chase Sadoff's in the same position, right?
Mm-hmm. Up next, group number 3.
If Chase had won that first race last year at Volusia, his very first race, how different do you think it would be for Chase now?
I think it's...
Or would he be in the same position?
No, I think it'd be easier. I think he would have won more races. It's easier to win after you win your first one. I know it sounds cliche. I know it sounds made up, but once you know you can do it,
But would that have been too much too soon, almost, to have won early like that?
I think it would have helped him. I think it would have helped his confidence. Nothing against the confidence he has right now because he's still running up front. But I think it definitely would have made it easier to win more races. He was right there. He had the speed. He's had the speed every race, honestly, but Declan Bender goes out in front, the Illinois rider. Another rider slips off the groove, so that's going to open up the door for the orange and white leathers. I believe that's only Kistler on the 155. The 218 was right there with this big group, and he's broken away from all of them. Oh, he puts his hand up. He's having issues. Declan Bender starts waving his hand, and that's what they teach you. But they also teach you
the groove too.
They teach you to pull in the clutch and wave your right hand. So I don't know. He was waving his left hand, so he wasn't trying to slow it down. Now he's back up to speed, so he got out of the way, and now he's back going again. So something just must not have felt right. Also, one of the riders that's missing is Andrew Luker. He's a California guy, and he just wasn't feeling it. He's been a little bit under the weather for a few rounds, and he's sitting this one out. I got some people asking me where Luker's at. He's actually teammates with this guy that's out front right now. That's Raggio on the 55 from Lockford, California, now lives in Georgia. 117, Landon Smith coming up the inside from Pensacola, Florida. He's teammates with Dalton Gautier. Gautier back in 11th. He's struggling a little bit today, according to his standards. I'd be happy with 11th, but he he's used to running up front. Looks like Bender's gotten back up to speed. He's up to 4th on the racetrack right now. And there goes Smith off the groove. Slows down just a little bit, gets back on the groove, and then you can grab that handful of gas. Raggio pulling away on the 55. He's currently 22nd. 216 used that double draft right in front of him, moves up to 19th. He wasn't even on our leaderboard until that lap right there. Jumps up into 19th on that number 216. Be the 4th bike, and he's going to try to make this double draft and not able to make it happen. Gets back in line. The 121 Jacob Cassio is out there as well, going into turn number 3. Last group of qualifying is right here on the racetrack, the open paddock area, coming up real soon. Right? Yep. Man, what a feeling.
I can only imagine.
Wide open on the Sacramento Mile. Landon Smith jumps up to 20th on that lap, just behind the 216. Landon Smith is on the 117, still looking for his first main event.
Now, I've never done this, but isn't it crazy when you've done something repetitively so much like that, that's an adrenaline type of thing, right? Whether it's a motorsport or some sort of extreme sport, like maybe skiing or whatever it might be, and you see it on TV like you just did watching these guys come down the front straightaway. You can relive it in your mind, and your body, you can sense those sensations in your body, right?
Yeah, it's an adrenaline rush.
Just
for sure.
Watching it, you can remember that feeling.
Yeah.
So realistically.
Raggio's losing the lead right here. He's back in 21st, but he has nobody to draft with, so he's out there breaking his own air. This will allow the ones that, 216 had to set up a little bit, maybe had to let off and get back in line, but the 117 and the 216 have tracked down the 55, who's run out there by himself, and they might have some quick laps right here. I think the 216 had to back off going into turn number 3, but here they come. This should be a fast time for the 117, maybe the 216 even for them.
Top 10.
We'll see if we come across the line. Yeah, the 117 jumps up to 16th, and the 216 jumps up to 20th. So not a big jump, but they work together. They track down the 55, and they pass the 55. That was the checkered flag. These guys are still up to full song on the back straightaway, and you might as well, because use it one more time and then slow it down right about here. That's it for qualifying. Tom Drain will be our fast qualifier in the singles class. 38.002 was fastest in the first round.
Write that one down.
38.115 fastest here in round number 2. Track maintenance is what's on deck. Also, the open paddock area coming up here real soon. If you're here with us, if you want to go in the pits, 5:45 till 6:35, you can make your way to the pits. It is free for the next little under an hour. When we come back, opening ceremonies at 6:45 p.m. Everybody have some fun right here at the legendary Sacramento Mile. We'll be back at 7 for opening ceremony. 6:45.
For American Flat Track fans, the last Saturday in June can only mean one thing: the return of the Lima Half Mile. June 24th, the Allen County Fairgrounds comes alive with the fastest flat track motorcycle racers on the planet, celebrating America's original extreme sport. The 2023 running of the Mission Foods Indian Motorcycle Lima Half Mile, presented by Drag Specialties, is on. Get your tickets now at limahalfmile.com.
Rev up to get fueled by Mission as the world's most extreme dirt track riders and tastiest products come together to fuel your flavor. Fully loaded tacos, fast wraps, piled high nachos. Whatever you crave, Mission will help you be race ready with easy-to-make recipes that will take your race day to the finish line. Keep your racing delicious and enjoy all the mouth-watering action. Brought to you by Mission Foods. Too fast, too tasty.
We come from all walks of life. We don't need a reason to ride or even a destination. It's not what or where we ride that defines us, because no matter where we're headed, it's what happens along the way that makes us who we are. We may not know where the ride will take us, but one thing's for sure. With the Law Tigers, you never ride alone. If you're injured in a motorcycle accident, call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS, America's motorcycle lawyers.
On Saturday, July 22nd, the world's premier dirt track motorcycle racing rumbles into New Jersey's Bridgeport Motorsports Park.
We're ready to go racing. Massive championship implications here.
Meet your favorite riders. Kickstart your weekend with progressive American flat track. It's the Bridgeport Half Mile at Bridgeport Motorsports Park in Swedesboro, New Jersey. Get your tickets now at AmericanFlatTrack.com.
Knopf is a global leader in insulation products. More than 40 years of experience. Knopf is one of the fastest growing and most respected names in insulation worldwide. Knopf is committed to helping customers to meet the increasing demand for energy efficiency and sustainability in homes, non-residential buildings, and industrial applications. The Motion Pro